Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the British Grand Prix. This is the 7th British Grand Prix of Hyperdrive's history in Division 1, and it is going to be a cracker. This one is, and of course, is going to be very tight at the top of the standings. It's very tight in throughout all of Hyperdrive. Before we get into the rest of Hyperdrive's championship and where everyone stands, let's take a look at the history of the British Grand Prix. Of course, this is round 11 of the World Championship. German has got the fastest lap around here, or the fastest race lap around here for 1:25.718 then last season as well. The all-time lap record, I think, was set by Total Peas back in season 5, and of course when he was on pole position in that epic shootout, wasn't it? Goodness gracious me, almost 2 seasons ago as well. So that is the all-time lap record. I don't think that's going to be broken today, as we have 20% less downforce now. No, 10% less downforce than we did way back then. In the driver standings for Division 1, it is Danger Times that leads the World Championship by 42 points from Blaze in second. Epic the Animal has eaten into Blaze's gap at the moment. It's now down to 13 points. Sly Guy is 2 points away from Epic in 4th position. Troy, who is almost 48 points away from the top 4 at the moment. Sully in 6th position. Strong start for Sully. Good stuff indeed there. With 7th position, Chaz. At 8th is Milan. 9th position is Crazy Bill. And 10th position is the defending champion, German, who's had a bit of an auspicious start then to his championship campaign. Relegation zone at the moment is Henry R, who is not racing anymore, so he's coming to Ferrari. He's given Ferrari -3 points in his left hand, so good contribution there. Hayden is on -2 points, and Clarkey, who hasn't got any points yet, the former 2-time Grand Prix winner in Division 1, is currently at the moment at the bottom 3 there. And Sloth is only 8 points away from the safety from the drop zone at the moment. Of course, remember, the bottom 3 will be relegated, of course, if they finish in the bottom 3, but of course, also, you have to perform at least, I think it's like 75% of the Grand Prix season, because otherwise that would be truly unfair. And there's been a lot of substitutes in Division 1 so far this season. McLaren lead the Constructors' Championship 126 points away from the Williams, who are second. McLaren have been absolutely sensational since the beginning of the season, and you'll hear in a minute by their incredible stats there. Ferrari are in 3rd position, 16 points away. Alfa Romeo are 4th. Aston Martin 9 points away from the Alfa team. Mercedes are now a point behind the Aston Martin. Red Bull 7th, and AlphaTauri have climbed their way back up to 8th position after a horrific start to the season. Alpine dropped down tonight. They was last in the Constructors last season, and Haas have had a really appalling start so far. Absolutely horrific stuff indeed for the Haas team. Only 11 points so far from the first 10 rounds of Division 1. In the Joint Constructors, McLaren leads the way at the moment with Ferrari in 2nd, Alfa 3rd, Red Bull 4th, Alpine and AlphaTauri 5th and 6th, Haas the 7th, Mercedes 8th, Williams 9th, and Aston Martin brings up the rear in 10th position. Then, of course, we are here tonight at Silverstone. And I've got something tickling the inside of my nose. 1 minute. There we go. In the Division 2 Championship, we've unfortunately Boxster had a nightmare night last night, didn't he? His championship lead has been whittled down to, I think it's 1 point by the looks of things here, between Boxtal and V Robbie. Menace Max is very much on the cusp and on the up as well. He's now only 10 points away from the championship lead. Good stuff indeed for Menace Max. Swift Ninja is very sneakily also sneaking up to the back of the top 3 as well. Remember, that is the battle to get into Division 1 for next season. Bottom 3 at the moment is Farhad Alhan and Goat Cass, albeit Goat Cass only raced twice in Division 2, hasn't he? But my goodness me, Division 2 is really hot now. In Division 3, we had a superb race, didn't we, on Friday night, where Farf won his first Grand Prix in almost 2 seasons of Grand Prix racing. Fantastic. Cowie, though, who's had was leading the race, wasn't he, right up until where Farf stayed on the soft tires and won that race, and Cowie got second. And Gamer and KD did not score again, which has let Cowie extend the season championship to 26 points. Now, in the relegation zone is Grimmy, Albo, and McKenty. I don't think McKenty's racing Division 3 anymore. In Division 4, Nigel's got quite a nice lead now, all of a sudden, over Adam, who is 20 points back. You mad, bro, who may be taking a break then, but he's 19 points away at the moment, and he will be, if he takes a break, then he's almost thrown away potential promotion next season. McKenty, who's joining Division 4 now, is in the bottom 3 3, along with Joseph, Albo, and Williams, and Williams at the moment there. Division 5, Gordo leads the championship. Supreme stuff for Gordo. His podium contributions have been absolutely sensational. We have Rain afoot in qualifying. Good grief, we'll look at that in a minute. Division 5 is Gordo, 21 points in front of Florid and Starbust, 14 points in. Now it's the top 3. Bottom 3 is Broke Gorilla, Storm, and Liam D. Division 6, Bob is leading the championship by 12 points from Dynamo Dan and J-Dog, who's in third position at the moment. In the relegation is I. Peter, who I also think has given up his seat as well. There's a lot of people that have given up their seats lately, along with Swanshanks, and I think Gooner's also given up his seat as well. And then Division 7, Ash Tube and Bad Payaso, 1 point separates those two at the top of the standings. Then Jitter has floated back at the moment in 7th position as well. Also, happy Mother's Day to everyone as well. I hope you all treated your mums then with some special gifts today and all that kind of stuff. And of course, I hope you got a lot of chocolate, a lot of flowers and all that kind of jazz. Then we're about a minute into this qualifying session, and then Geordie Boxtal is already coming out of the picks as well. Of course, Boxtal is racing once again then, because at the moment I think we've got free seats at the moment, haven't we, in a hyperdrive. So as you can see, it's a very damp track out there at the moment, but I'm wondering if it's going to drive. We don't know much about the weather forecast at the moment, which I absolutely love. I love it when I'm not sure about what the weather forecast is doing, because it really makes this very interesting indeed. Then Milano's changed this gamer tag. Goodness me, he changes more than I changed my underpants. But he has got he is now Milan WOR. He didn't race last time, I did in Canada, but he's back in action. He got pole position last time he was in action, which is in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So can Milan get another pole position started? It was a great battle between Milan and Sly Guy for pole last time out in Canada, wasn't it? Sorry, in Azerbaijan. Fantastic. It really was indeed. And we've got a lot of drivers out very early on here. I wonder if the rain might actually be getting heavier. We'll find out, because these might be just banker lamps at the moment. But Milan is first out then on track currently. So, have we got any full debutants tonight? And German has got a full qualifying ban for being a very naughty champion. German is, unfortunately. So German will be starting from the back of the field. Well, he's not guaranteed that, because if someone retires underneath the order, which I don't know how the order is. I don't know how the order is going to be. Well, I don't know how they sort the order, Code Masters, but well, yeah, German currently was 5th in the order when he retired from the session, and so as long as no one below him crashes, then he should be all fine and dandy. Of course, we are starting a little later than normal here, because normally our start time is an hour earlier, but of course, it's not because the clocks have gone forward or anything like that, Jazz. It is because, of course, we had a very impressive Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Very interesting indeed, wasn't there, where Max Verstappen won his 21st Grand Prix of his career earlier on. Fantastic stuff indeed, then with Leclerc leading, I think, almost 95% of the Grand Prix, wasn't there? But Verstappen's very much has got a rocket in the old rear end of that Red Bull. That's very good stuff indeed there. Perez, very unlucky indeed then, as unfortunately Latifi crashed and caused a safety car, didn't he? Which also ruined strategies of the likes of Kevin Magnussen, unfortunately, because I think Magnussen was on the hard tyres and going a very long way into that Grand Prix, and he could have finished higher up, really, because he did have pace in that Haas car. As we've got no DRS at the moment because it's deemed too wet out there. So the DRS is down this Wellington straight, which are on here. There's also another DRS straight, which I'll point out to you when we get down that back straight as well. Then let's go to the comments then. Dylan, evening. Good evening to you, Dylan. Good evening to Vintage as well. Kaz saying good evening from Canada. Good luck to the drivers. Go Ferrari. Menace Max, who won this Grand Prix last night. And of course, he's now third in the championship in Division 2. And he's only 10 points away now from the battle for the battle at the top of Division 2 as well, which is fantastic, isn't it? Kaz saying, unfortunately, it's going to be like going on after the Beatles. What a real life race today. Yes, indeed. Then I think it was a very edge of the seat stuff. But does it hold a candle to the absolute incredible Grand Prix we had in Division 3 the other night? Then goodness me. That still lives quite fresh in the memory for me, because it was only like 2 nights ago. It was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? And Farfair, as we mentioned then already earlier on the broadcast there, he won it. That's his first Grand Prix in almost 2 seasons. Blocking up the inside tyre there, Milan is then. Of course, Milan, who has the most pole positions in the whole of this field so far, but of course not this season, of course, then, but in the whole all-time stats then, was Milan has gone fastest so far as he flicks it in to turn 1. Then Sly Guy out of final turn. Sly Guy goes second fast man. Look at this, and once again Milan and Sly Guy are going to be duking out for the honours of pole position. No, they're not, because Boxtel, the Division 2 championship leader, is now also in the frame as well. Unfortunately, I think Pillars, who's the Ferrari driver, the second Mercedes driver, who was the Ferrari driver, unfortunately he's not racing over the month, so Pillars will not be part of the Mercedes clan anymore. Tygo has gone full fast. There's also a Division 2 driver. Luckily, these drivers are stepping in at the moment now, as a lot of Division 1 drivers just don't seem to have the metal at the moment, do they? Epic, who's in 5th position. 4th position is Scotty, albeit he's minus a wing now, so Scotty's done a 36 at 2, but unfortunately for Scotty, he's lost the front wing now, so that's not good for the Mercedes team, is it there? So Scotty's going to be a bit disappointed. But here's Julian, who is up into 6th position as well. Had a good race, didn't he, in the Canadian Grand Prix just over a week ago. So good stuff indeed there for Julian. V. Robbie, who is just coming out of the loop then. Danger Times then, who I must say that it's been a bit of a dry spell for the McLaren team, hasn't it? Well, because they haven't won in the last race then, because Blaze won very impressively in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, but McLaren didn't score many points last time out, did they? But Danger Times very much back on it then, of course, because Danger Times hasn't won a Grand Prix since the Portuguese Grand Prix, over 5 races to go then for Danger Times. However, he has been very much getting the performances in then. On board with Nosey, who is in the Aston Martin. Sly Guy's gone faster on a second time run then, but that is quickly eclipsed then by Anne Denge as well. Then goodness gracious me, then we've got quite an action-packed qualifying session to start off here tonight then. Anne Denge is looking a bit wayward there and going very well. Then Anne Denge, another driver who's been a bit disappointed to start off the season. After that, he's a man who's comes with a lot of he has a lot of history in championship races, doesn't he, Andenjas? But he hasn't really shown his best form so far. Knowlesy has gone 9th fastest in the Aston Martin at the moment. Sully has just gone out of Cop's corner. What about V. Robbie then, who is also second in the championship in Division 2 as well? Clarkey has done a 2 minutes there. I think the Clarkey has had a trip somewhere, so he's going to have to go around again if he wants to get himself through. Remember, this qualifying session is to order the 5 slowest drivers then at the moment. And at this moment in time, the 5 slowest drivers have not set times just yet then, so we're going to point that out in just a jiffy. Sully coming out of Stowe is a far is loving me at the moment, and it's, I think it might be because he is still absolutely loving life at the Mercedes after winning that incredible Grand Prix not too long ago as well. Thank you very much to Jackin Hal then, who is just doing us a new follow as well. Thank you very much. If I've butchered your name, I apologise profusely. I'm really appalling with names. I can't even, as I keep saying, I can't even pronounce my own name right. Vintage driving here tonight then, of course, he's a super sub then for Hayden, who's not participated in the Haas car either. Haas really do need to get some good points on the board because they are in major danger. I need to find the stat then for the lowest points scored in the season, but I don't want to get that stat out just yet. But Haas need to start scoring because they are well away now from the bottom of the championship. 34 points at the moment away from the Alpine. Yes, of course, if they get a 1-2, then they'll be back up there, up in there like swimwear. But at the moment now, that's not looking very good at all for the Haas team, which is a bit of a worry. Troy, who's been sensational, all blazed and validate this time now. We've just got Knowlesy has just gone quicker and he's now in 11th position then. Blazed and validate this time so far. Slough is just behind Vincent. Well, now I wonder if Vincent sees it in his wing mirrors. Of course, these wing mirrors is as useful as a chocolate fire guard, and they really, because of course, chocolate fire guard is probably not going to be very good because they're miles, isn't it? I think I've just seen one of the Williams cars of Julian going up into 5th position now, and Denge is fast at the moment, quite happy, but only by 200 so a second away from Sly Guy. Crazy Bill has gone 6th fastest. Good time indeed there for Crazy Bill. He's been a revelation this season, Crazy Bill has, and I'm very much been a big fan of Crazy Bill this season. Been fantastic indeed, and far same going to be my only win. However, I would say the far from I think it'd be very up for that. And it was absolutely supreme. Wasn't there? The race on Friday night was absolutely topsy turvy, and I loved that. Soft only 16 fast around there, and Maybe, let's see how he gets on though, as he's going for a second time run here. Clarkie's 12 seconds up on the first split time here. Carboy has decided not to go on the pitch just yet, so Clarkie is carrying on here. As I mentioned, the two-time Grand Prix winner back in Season 4. He is navigating his way through. Hasn't scored any points so far for the Haas team. The Haas team be looking to him now to try and improve his car. And of course, contact there between the Ferrari, and I'm not sure which Ferrari it was. And this Tygo has got a 5-place grid penalty with Clarkie, and goodness me, he was on the racing line there. Tygo was there, wasn't he? I'm not sure if he was unsighted or whatnot, but it looked like he was on the racing line, and that is not good at all there. Oh dear, and Clarkie is limping back into the garage, and he is going to be furious, isn't he, with that then? And Blaze has gone fastest now on his second attempt there, and he comes into the garage now, but Clarkie is going to be furious, isn't he? And he's got 7 minutes to try and sort it out there. However, he can put on a new set of intermediate tyres. You will get 4 sets of intermediate tyres for the event here tonight. Whether that's going to be a problem in the race, that remains to be seen, of course, there. But that is not good at all there for Clarkie. Back into the pits now. And maybe put on a new set of boots and Vintage at the moment there, who's pushing on at the moment there. Vintage, goodness me, I think Vintage has appeared in every single division so far, hasn't he? Incredible stuff. Nosey has filled up his car then. We've got a lot of action in qualifying 1 here. The reason why this is because in the wet weather conditions, or it's light rain at the moment then, but when it's raining around here, I think that it's more about your confidence, isn't it, rather than how much weight you're carrying then. And I think that so that's why drivers there put on a bit more fuel. Then the tires do not wear as much when it's raining out there, and you can see Nosey is very much in the zone at the moment there. So he's a 3-time Grand Prix winner. Nosey is, isn't he, as well? And so, of course, Nosey is also keen to success here in Division 1. But he's down in 15th for the moment. He also runs wide as well. And the car is not very compliant under the hands of Nosey at the moment. Same with Troy as well in the Aston Martin. So both Aston Martins are looking very precarious at the moment. Here is Scotty there coming through Maggots and Beckett's as well. Look at this there. Look at the change of direction on that Mercedes. Absolutely supreme stuff indeed there. And then the Aston Martin, I think that's Troy just right. Oh, he's had a swap out of Chapo there. And I think that he may back off here. There's a lot of battery usage left in that Mercedes. German saying, at least I'm going to have fun in the race, I suppose. Said Farfus asked if it's a wet race. German is confirmed it's a dry race, and so you won't need your intermediate tires for the dry race as well. So you've got 4 sets of new intermediate tires, and some drivers may only have 3 sets now. So that is going to be very interesting. And of course, you don't want to throw all your intermediate tires at it, do you? Sully goes into 11th fastest, then was Troy just moves up into 10th as well. Scotty dropping down to 12th position in the Mercedes car. Of course, Mercedes probably needs some stability, really, as they've had more drivers than points. I'm exaggerating, but they've had a lot of driver swaps over the season, haven't they? Talking to German, remember that. Milan is almost 6,000 seconds quicker. Talking to German, of course, the world champion. We have a special podcast episode tomorrow night then on Hyperdrive on the Hyperdrive YouTube, of course, where we're going to where me and Sir Alex Knowsley will be talking. As Milan's invalid his time right at the end there, and that lap is not going to count, unfortunately. He's gone a bit too wide. Sly Guy's gone quicker by almost half a second there. Sly Guy very quick and 1 lap pace, any Sly Guy is there. But at the moment, no, it's not. I think he needs to get those points on the board there. But he's only 2 points. He's only a couple points away now from the top 3 positions there. Sly Guy is there, so he's going to start to really. He's going to have to start to really put pressure on the 2 McLarens there, isn't he? There, of course, as we are coming up to half distance in this World Championship. Going back to German, I guess German, we've got a special podcast episode with German tomorrow night as well on Hyperdrive YouTube, of course. So keep it on that one. Now we're going to talk to the world champion. Crazy because second fastest. We're going to talk to the world champion, and of course we're going to talk about his history. Of course, German's got a lot of history as well, hasn't he? So fantastic stuff indeed. I'm looking forward to that one. Of course, me and Nosey will be going through the quiz as well. I think that we've also got KD, who is one of the voices of Hyperdrive Esports, will also be on a chit chat with us. Hopefully, a week after, not next Monday, the Monday after, with KD as well. well. So interesting stuff indeed then. And James has gone second fast at the moment there. I think there's the track drying out here, or is it more confidence in the drivers? Box Tower's gone at third fastest in the Mercedes car. He's been limited on Mercedes. Only Box Tower's driven. This is the third race in a row that Box Tower's driven for the Mercedes. This is his fourth star in Division 1. And he is looking very much at home, isn't he? It just shows how competitive Division 2 is, isn't it? With the Division 2 drivers, they're very much mixing it up then with the Division 1 drivers. It's absolutely supreme. 17 Vintage has found almost a second one. That's fantastic. Clarkey, who's going to have to go again then after him and Tygo came together. And I'd like to hear the history on that then. Sorry, not the history. I'd like to hear what happened then between Tygo, whether he was, whether he just didn't see him on the trap map. Of course, all the drivers probably should have their trap map on. Really, I would have to guess then, or what more if he was distracted. Then Epic goes 9th fast, and Epic, who's in the top 3 in the World Championship, is not really at home at the moment of that Williams car. He's a bit behind the 8 ball here in the British Grand Prix, which is a bit of a concern there for Epic. Tygo's just going on a quick lap now as well. Well, Clarkey is staying on the same intermediate tyres here. We have got Sloth, who's on an outlap, and then the time is now becoming the driver's enemy. We have got Serious Person saying, hello, I'm not late, you are. Indeed we are, actually. Of course, if any of you joined us, and of course we are nearly halfway through the race, or almost 3/4 of the way through the race. Yellow flag in Sector 1. Of course, we are running a bit late then, as I got to say, it's going to throw me all off. And the clocks have gone forward as well, haven't they? So technically, it's actually 10:15 now, isn't it, really, rather than 9:15? So Clarkey out of the final third, and Clarkey goes 6th fastest. That's better for the Haas team. That is exactly what they need. And Gunter is going to be doing backflips on that pit wall. And Clarkey, of course, Clarkey has shown the pass out. He is a 2-time Grand Prix winner, Clarkey is. So he does have the pace there. Vintage, who has found another half a second. Vintage is, over the last couple of laps, he has found a 2.5 Vintage has. Can he find a bit more time? If he finds some similar time like that again, he's going to be very much in the same ballpark as Tygo, who's in the bottom 5-1. But unfortunately, because he spun the car, Tygo, he's in the wall, and he's 15th. He is out of qualifying. Unfortunately, no spare cars here in Formula 1 these days, and that is just kind of capped off a miserable qualifying session for Tygo. Unfortunately, him and Clarkey came to blows down the back straight. He's got a 5-place grid penalty, which means he's going to be starting on the last row of the grid. Unfortunately, Nolte is cruising. He has run out of fuel, Nolte. I said we've got a minute to go in this session, so Nolte could be the first victim here. Vintage is also out of fuel as well, but Sloth, he's invalidated this time. Sloth has Carboy has not ventured out. He doesn't want to get his hair wet. Carboy. Oh, and Sloth has done the same thing as Tygo. It's getting wet on the final turn here, isn't it? And there must be a wet patch there, because that's two drivers in the almost within the same minutes of each other have spun on the final corner here. Tygo's out, Sloth is out as well, and it's a nightmare qualifying session for both the Alpine and the Ferrari driver, and that is unfortunate indeed then, and goodness gracious me, and that is very, very unsafe indeed then, but that is such a shame now for Sloth, out qualified. So we have lost Cartboy out, we've lost Gurman, Sloth, Knowlesy, and Tygo's out of qualifying as well. Can Vintage find anything in the tank then? But it doesn't look like he's got much fuel left, so I think the Vintage may also be out of qualifying here as well. We've lost 6 drivers in this first qualifying session rather than 5 then, so that is that's unfortunate then. That's a bit of a damp squib then to the end of this one. Goodness gracious me. Kaz is saying Troya Goat then, hashtag move Geordie to Division 1, and also Gurney Camp. Ooh, Gurman on the podcast, almost like OnlyFans or OnlyPans then perhaps then. As probably the only that's the only thing I'll be watching then is OnlyPans then, as of course because I think isn't it like a food show or something like that. Shame they can't deliver it to my daughter, and I am a great lover of the old food. Milan's trying to find a bit more time, and Milan is safely through. Qualifying session has ended as we're just watching Scott use the final of the drivers that has snuck through. Tygo will have a 5-place grid penalty then, unfortunately, for the incident with himself and Clarkey. Clarkey is through anyway, so I don't think the steward is going to need to take any more action in this qualifying session. Danger Times ends this first qualifying 8 fastest. That is not too important right now, because the times do get wiped going to set into this next qualifying session, of course. So the battle. This is just a battle to line up the last 5 cars, and on this occasion it's 6. And with Tygo out qualifying as well. Oh, goodness me, I've lost where I am. We've got, going to make sure my missus isn't watching it mushroom. Goodness gracious me. She might, good gosh, no. Oh, my goodness gracious. Then Sarah's saying you can't park there, Tygo. As Gurman saying, at least I'm not last now. And you, Sloth, laugh out loud then. Give Sloth a parking ticket then. Yes, he shouldn't really be parking on the Hamilton Straight, should he? Scotty has had a very fine lap then and gone second fast, and it's still light rain out there at the moment. Now, the rain is not shifting too much. We've got an AlphaTauri who's parked in a very Troy's after session now. That's not good. That's coming out of I think that's Stowe, isn't it? I think it is Stowe, but Milan they're coming back into the gap. I wonder if he was just trying to find a bit of the limit on this Silverstone lap on the Silverstone circuit. And well, you may have found the limit into Stowe anyway, but he's coming back into the garage now. Let me quickly read out the rest of the comments there because I need to get myself sorted out. Then as German, has he been naughty? He's got a full qualifying ban because he didn't have any footage, and shocking stuff indeed. Then is a Sly Guy has just gone fast there with an exclamation mark there. I think he's done a 35.005 on 8 lap old intermediate tyres there. So Sloth, Sly Guy very much putting an exclamation mark onto his fastest time in this qualifying one session. He's very much enjoyed himself out there. He's had 5 pole positions so far in 9 qualifying sessions then for Sly Guy. Very much, he's pretty good at the old qualifying trim, isn't he, for the Ferrari driver? KD, it's raining again then. It is indeed then. We've also got look at Sly Guy at the top. KD is saying, Equals saying, Sean, best of luck Division 1 then, as Equals has been given a GOAT symbol as well. Fantastic. Make sure you mention me beating you in Japan in silver, Gurney. Only claim to fame. I think we did mention that actually, Sly Guy. As serious mushroom. Of course, unfortunately, I think I pulled that up there, which was not very... I don't think Gurman was very amused by that one. Out of qualifying is Cardboy, Gurman, Sloth, Vintage, Knowlesy, and Tygo's got a 5-place grid penalty as one of the Ferraris is top. The other Ferrari, unfortunately, has hit a bit of a stumbling block in this qualifying one session. Right, as we're now popping into qualifying 2 Equals Sada. Superb commentary there from KD last night, who took us through Division 2, didn't he? And of course, that action-packed Grand Prix where Menace Max took I think that was his first Grand Prix win of the season, wasn't it, for Menace Max? Absolutely supreme stuff indeed there. Menace Max is now is now about 10 points away as well. So keep an eye on that one because that is going to get very interesting indeed. Then the battle at the top of Division 2, of course. Remember, the top 3 in Division 2 will go into Division 1 for next season and Season 8 then. And there'll be a new Formula Season 8 next season as well. Of course, we've only come up to half distance here in this season, of course. And we have no idea who's going to be the defending champion for next year because it's still all very much up in the air. We do know that McLaren started off supremely well. If the championship was only 11 rounds, then we know that Danger Tyler's already been the champion. But of course, that is not the case. We still have an abundant amount of action to go, don't we? Of course, we go to the Styrian Mountains next week in Austria, which is, of course, a cracking Grand Prix as well. It's a tricky little circle, isn't it, to say the very least. As we're now... I've missed someone. Is Epic the Animal, who I could really put my house on the fact that Epic the Animal is always usually one of the first drivers out on circuit, and he is indeed then Sly Guy in the famous car 46 now, who is just back behind him as well. But Epic then the first driver out on circuit here in Silverstone, of course. Then so again, and just of course it's Mother's Day as well today. So I hope you all had a lovely day, and I hope that I hope you've all treated your mothers then to some chocolates and all that kind of stuff as well. There was something else that marked down. I know on the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, but I'm not sure there was another day of inspiration. But I think that was actually last Tuesday, wasn't it, or something like that? I don't know. I do need a bit of inspiration for tomorrow. Though. Unfortunately, I'm back at work after almost 9 days sitting on my rear posterior. Then. Serious Mushroom at Troy for the pole fastest up and the race win. And so the full shebang then, Serious Mushroom is predicted now for Troy at the moment. I think Troy left the session. Hopefully he'll come back in ASAP here because that's not going to help him out whatsoever. Epic now. So the rain is in the same intensity as it was in qualifying one. So I don't think that we're going to be thinking about the slick tires just yet. The track seems to be a stable condition at the moment. Out of the final turn, we're aiming to lose the 4 slowest cars here, not the 5, because of course, unfortunately, Tygo had a huge incident in the final turn then here in Silverstone. 18 turns around this at Northamptonshire braced circuit. Lovely, you see the rake on the back of that Williams car. Goodness me, you ain't going to be seeing any of that rake next season, because the cars for the next Formula, or the next era of Formula, is ground effect, isn't it there? So looking forward to that with a DW, of course. And that is for another day and another conversation, of course, because we've still got a long way to go in this season. We're just watching Epic then flicking it down into the Wellington straight there. So I think going up into Austria next week, then we will be marking almost the half distance for me, because we're now on 23. Halfway through Austrian Grand Prix will be the half distance of the World Championship as well. We do not have Russia on the calendar anymore, of course. So we have taken Russia away. So we have now got a 23 race calendar, which is still the longest calendar still in hyperdrive history. Goodness gracious me. Going through Maggot and Beckett's Epic the Animal. Goodness gracious me, that was actually quite epic indeed there. He was leaving no room on the table there, wasn't he? And of course, if you cut the corner even slightly, your time will be deleted and not counted, of course. Then and you may think that the top drivers may not be too concerned about that if they make a mistake in qualifying 2 here. However, that would not be the case then, because of course they would just have to use additional tires then. But we are expecting it to be dry in the race as well. And so, of course, the qualifying 2 rule where you have to take your tires into the race should not be applied here now then. But a 35.959 to set us on our way. But Sligo's gone faster by 0.2 of a second. I think that Sligo's on. Oh my goodness me, I thought he was gone then. I think Zandenge is very quick at this moment, isn't he? Fantastic stuff indeed. Milan's also in there as well. Boxtel's gone second fastest then, as these times are now starting to tumble like a fruit machine out there. Goodness gracious me. Sully has just got into 6th fast as well. Then we've got yellow flags as well, and the Red Bulls of V. Robbie then, who is just starting to wind it up and let it go. And we got Mercedes out there as Scotty, who has also started his finished off his lap there. What about Danger Tom? Said he was quickest earlier on in the session then, but he did drop down to 8th in the end then for the championship leader. Danger Tom said he's a complete new driver, isn't he? Danger Tom says as he comes out the final turn, and Danger Tom goes across the line. He is 4th at the moment. Scotty is off in a major way at turn 1 then, and that is going to be Scotty, our first victim, and he's gone on the outside. He's right over in the gravel there, and yes, said of course, if you take too much curb, then you will be off in a huge instant there. And unfortunately, Scotty is out of qualifying. The highest it's going to be tonight or today is 13th on the grid there. Unlucky for some, and unfortunately unlucky for Scotty. What about Crazy Bill? Bill out of the final turn then, so let's see what Bill can do then. Bill didn't use too much errors there, did he? So, but he's done a 35.5 there, Bill has, and a 10th a second in front of Andenge. It's great to see Andenge back up there. I'm loving that. Fantastic. We've got Clarkey just starting off his lap then. Julian, who's trying to warm up his tyres halfway down the straight there, so that's quite worrying. Sly Guy, who is just have a lap of harvesting and going again here. So Sly Guy there is Sly Guy there, who just wants to put in a more representative time potential, and he may feel a bit vulnerable there. On board with Julian then, as Julian's going to feel a bit more vulnerable than Sly Guy about it, because that lap time is a 45, and I think that is going to be beaten, almost certainly going to be beaten then, isn't it? Troy also struggling to warm up those tyres as well. So we're going to stick with Clarkey coming down the Wellington straight at the moment. So just now on board with Clarkey, as goodness me, I must apologise, I've missed some of your comments. Scotty, you do love a good spin, Keza saying, and thank you very much to Tan Dro. I'm so sorry if I've pronounced that completely wrong there. All right. Cavadu, which is probably much easier, isn't it, really? So, what is your favourite Formula 1 team? Oh, gosh, that's a difficult. I don't really have a favourite Formula 1 team, to be honest. I just love the sport, really. If I do have a soft spot for McLaren, though, I must say. McLaren, I do have a soft spot for McLaren and Williams as well, really. But that's because I'm a golden OD. I'd like to hear what your favourite Formula 1 team is, Camado, because yes, I think your opinion is much more important than mine. Clarkey getting a bit squirrely on the exit of Stowe Corner. Now coming into the final few corners here. You don't want to cut the corners too much there because the car would just launch up in the air then. And Clarkey across the line. Clarkey's at the races here tonight, isn't he? He's looking very strong indeed then. And Haas needs him to be at the race as well. As Haas are having a horrific start to this season, aren't they? Out of the final turn there for Sligo across the line. He is fastest there by just over half a tenth of a second there, or just under half a tenth of a second there for Sligo. Quicker than Crazy Bill. As we mentioned, then Sligo is very much the king of one lap pace. And Camado has just said his favourite car is the McLaren team, and I'll give you a virtual high five for that. Fantastic stuff indeed. Of course, McLaren are a pretty good team, albeit they're not at the moment, are they? As they've had a bit of a nightmare start then. But Lando Norris did do well today in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. I hope you enjoy the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, Camado. And I hope everyone else who's viewing this footage tonight or this coverage tonight also enjoyed the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Of course, I also hope that you enjoy this coverage as well. Troy is going at 8 fastest on 2-lap old intermediate compound tyres. Blaze is starting us off as well, but V Robbie has skated off at turn 1 there, and my goodness me, he has saved that car quite impressively. However, this lap is not going to count then, is it? Well, this lap is not going to be representative either. Same with Juliet, who's back in the pit, said Milan is out of qualifying, unbeknownst to me then, and goodness gracious me. And what's happened to Milan then? Sligo is crawling very slowly over the old national pit straight here. Goodness gracious me, that is quite a shock then from Milan, who was one of the drivers that I would have felt would have been involved in the pole position battle. He is out of qualifying then, and that may have given a clean run to Sligo. I would say the Crazy Bill and Nandenge and Boxtel and Danger Times and the Clarkey, goodness gracious me, will all have a say, I think, about that then. But Milan out of qualifying, that's a shocker for Milan. Serious Mushroom, Jim Clark's old Lotus is the best looking car. Best team is Arrows, or was. Yeah, definitely. Oh, yes, yeah. I do like the orange arrows that they had then. In 2000, was it 2002? They had the orange arrows. Absolutely beautiful, wasn't it? Then that 2000 arrows then was quite a slippery car as well when they had the Super Tech engine. Blaze out the final turn. He's gone fast as well. He's done it faster by just under a tenth of a second from Sly Guy. So Blaze is also back in the run as well. V Robbie coming back into the pits and flying into the pits. Thank goodness gracious me. And so Sully now just coming out of the pit lane, and he is going to. He's not on the lap at the moment, is he? So we're just going to have a bit of a lull here at the moment, haven't we? As the drivers then, as Troy has left the session again. That's not looking too fabu, is it? There for Troy, Hopefully he can get that sorted out before the race itself starts. And Troy at the moment is in at 9th at the moment. Then he's got 5 minutes to get back in the session to at least get himself under the bar for qualifying 3. But he does not want to be in and out, shaking all about like in the race itself, and does he? Because that's not going to happen at all. An Epic there, starting off the lap pretty horrifically. That was a horrible start to the lap there for Epic, but let's see how he goes. Clarkey is in the wall. Clarkey is in the wall coming out of Chapel, and look at this. Sully's also almost done the same thing now. And oh dear. And yes, he's gone off in Clarkey. That's 2 victims. And Fernando Alonso, I think, went off there in 2012. Luckily, I think it's a red flag there, wasn't it, there for Alonso, which may have saved his bacon here. There's no red flags in this qualifying session, so both Milan and Clarkey have gone out in this qualifying 2 session, and both drivers, I was going to hazard a guess, said would have been through into qualifying 3, I feel, because they do have the pace. Epic a tenth of a second up in the first split time, even with that horrific wobble. Saikai's gone faster by another 2/10 of a second in the Ferrari than this. He is now lowering the bar. If it's a game of limbo, I hope you've got some flexible backs then. We've got Epic going through Copse Corner. The McLaren, what the McLarens I think of, I'm not sure, I think that's Blaze and starting another lap. Then we've also got the Alpine out there as well. Just on board with Epic around. He gets 7 fastest then, Epic is a bit behind the 8 ball then, Epic, because he did have a horrible start to this lap then. Yellow flag in turn 1 then, as I think one of the drivers then was starting a lap then has unfortunately impeded that lap and is going to have another go then. Going down into Stowe then, Epic is head as we reach at 9 o'clock UK time then. Goodness gracious me, I'm going to have to very much get some caffeine on board then. Goodness gracious me then, as we are starting starting a bit later than tonight, then close for an hour later than normal because of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Troy is back in the session. That's good stuff indeed. Epic has had a very good lap there, and he's only 700 a second quicker than what he was previously. Then he's done a 35, Ben, which is probably a good lap from my point of view, but it's not a good lap from Epic's point of view. Into the pit lane comes Boxtel. We've got Crazy Bill who's matching his time there, but it's not enough at the moment. And the final turn for Crazy Bill, and he's going for another lap now then. And then 10th of a second coming down into Stowe. What about Sully? I think we need to be interested in Sully. He's found 4 tenths a second. Yellow flag down the Wenton straight then for Crazy Bill. No, sorry, for Epic then. We've got yellow flags, which is not showing the time. And then Sully out the final turn, and Sully is quicker than that Milan and Clark at the moment. What about Andes? He's found 10th a second. He's second fastest then, 2 tenths a second away from Sly Guy at this moment in time. Blaze has found 2 tenths a second, which would be on par with Sly Guy as well. Sly Guy then, who is still out there circulating the money. He's gone faster, and Sly Guy crossed the line then, and he is now going for another lap now, Sly Guy. So we've got a bit of a duel between Blaze and Sly Guy at the moment for the top of the timesheets in qualifying 2 here. Whoa, and goodness me, and Sly Guy's off the circuit, and Sly Guy just about keeping the car right then. I think Blaze's car has caught him out there for Sly Guy, and that was very dramatic indeed there for the Ferrari driver. He's coming back on circuit now, but goodness gracious me, that would definitely have caught him out there. And I think that Blaze may, I think Blaze was, I think, just finishing off a lap there, but yeah, they were both very close together, weren't they? Good grief there, and that definitely would have caught one of the drivers out. Epic back in the pit lane now then, so Epic may be looking over his shoulder here. Troy has left the session again, and this is worrying times for Troy, eh? Sully is trying to find time in the second split time. It's still default helmet there, which is a disappointment then. What a save there for Sly. Serious Rush to say yes indeed, and he would have been into the barrier, similar to what happened to Scotty earlier on this qualifying session. We've lost 3 drivers due to incidents in this qualifying session there. When is Bulky going to be on the podcast? Serious much about some questions are. Sully's also going to be in the wall. Good job that there's a lot of runoff here. He has hit the barrier, and he has damaged the end plate there. But I think that's Sully's qualifying participation done and dusted there. He is now just trying to get the car back into the pits, and so the Alfa Romeo team can fix it ready for the race itself. Troy, I think, is out of qualifying, unfortunately. So he is out, unfortunately. And Milan is saying that this track is bad. Zandvoort is clear. So hopefully Milan might enjoy himself a bit more in the race itself. But V. Robbie is fighting that car every inch of the way around this track, and he is through into qualifying 3. That is an impressive lap there from V. Robbie. Very much of all against him now, but he is through into qualifying 3 at the moment. So that is very good stuff indeed there for V. Robbie. Troy is out of qualifying, and we're going to have 9 participants in qualifying 2 as we've lost a lot of drivers in this in qualifying 3. We're only going to have 9 participants. We've lost a lot of drivers in qualifying 2. There's a huge casualty list in this qualifying session. We have lost Scotty, Milan, and Clarkey. Clarkey will be 11th on the grid then. However, normally I would go on the positive Pete side of things then and say that you can start on what tires you can then. Because there's intermediate changeable conditions, you get to choose a free choice of tires for the Grand Prix itself then, which is going to add an extra dynamic to the race. I would say that the strategy around here is quite straightforward. That is either a medium to soft or a soft to medium tire around here, and it's a one-stopper because there's a very long pit lane around here. You're on the pit limiter, one of the longest of the seasons, I think, in terms of the time you're on the pit limiter. Boxtel a bit behind the 8 ball at the moment. Boxtel had a nightmare race here last night when he was driving last night, but he's having a go in the Mercedes here tonight then for Boxtel. We're on board the Mercedes driver as well. It's still light rain out there, so we have lost Scotty. That's Boxtel's teammate. We've lost Troy, who unfortunately is having a couple of gremlins in that car. We've lost Sully, who made a mistake, unfortunately coming out of the exit of Stowe. We have also lost Clark as well, who crashed at the exit of Chapel just here. We lost Milan, unbeknownst to me, because I was talking absolute baloney, wasn't I? Unfortunately, and whilst that was happening, Milan went off somewhere. We have so Milan's also out, but he's going to start 10th position then. But he will not take part in qualifying 3, of course. So we're going to be a 9-car shootout rather than a 10-car shootout for qualifying. And we're just watching Boxtel out of the final turn. He is through anyway. Then, but I think this is just getting his eye in for qualifying 3. I would hazard a guess. guess that. He is through and sets a time on the board. Then David Times, the championship leader, back in the pits, and he's 5th at the moment. He was, I think, wasn't he 6th in qualifying one? He's 5th now. Then, so that's progression now for David Times. His teammate Blaze is currently fast at the moment. Blaze, who's 2nd in the World Championship at the moment. It is a McLaren 1-2 in the World Championship. Milan is saying it's going to be an 8-car shootout. Is someone else retired, have they? Oh, gosh. Goodness gracious me. Unbeknownst to me. We have also got Troy doesn't need pole. He likes a challenge, Serious Mushroom is saying. Well, to me, from that shot there, it looks like the rain is actually getting... It's actually getting lighter there, isn't it there? It's a very light rain at the moment around here, isn't it there? But I think there's been steady rain, and the weather hasn't really been too... Well, I think raining in any session in motorsport is a challenge, isn't it? But... But I think the weather has been very stable around here. But unfortunately, I can't say Troy. He's been very stable at the moment. He's been goodness gracious me. He's been in and out. He's been in and out like I've been in and out of the fridge all day. But the moment Troy is having a couple of technical issues, then, which has probably marred his progression in his qualifying session. Scotty out qualifying. Horrific shunt for Scotty. Troy technical gremlins down. Sully in 12th position. 11th for Clarkey. 10th from London. Those are the bottom 5 drivers for qualifying 3. For qualifying 2, as we now head on into qualifying 3. So then, who's going to be on pole position then for the British Grand Prix? In terms of, I think that really in terms of the last couple of qualifying, the drivers that won qualifying, Sly Guy won in Canada. Then it was Milan who got pole in Azerbaijan. Sly Guy won in Monaco. Epic got pole in Spain and Portugal. Sly Guy then got a hat trick of pole positions in San Marino, Australia, and Saudi Arabia. Of course, Blaze got pole position, and Epic got pole position in Bahrain, didn't he? So we've had a couple of polls there, and I think that's about 5 polls that we've had this season, haven't we? I say, it's easy for me to say. Yeah, very interesting stuff indeed then. But let's see how this one progresses then, shall we? As just on board the Mercedes, a box tower coming out of the pits as well. Once again, the rain is just fluttering down here. Seriously saying the Crazy Bill is a good shout for pole position as well. So that is a very good shout. The Crazy Bill, I think, has been fantastic all the way through the season. Honestly, they're very much very much in the when we was talking about the pre-season driver lineup, I don't think many mentioned Crazy Bill's name to be very much a factor in the top 10 of Division 1 then, but it just shows how unpredictable hyperdrive and Grand Prix racing can be. It's absolutely sensational to see KD saying Bill is crazy for pole position there. Humphrey saying Sly Guy smashing quali. Humphrey's saying he is at the moment, isn't there? So he's been fast in quali 1 and quali 2. On board with Ant Edgemud, another driver who potentially could maybe rain on the Sly Guy's parade here. Just now on board then, coming down the hangar straight then with Andenge. As I've mentioned before, Andenge's only had 21 points so far this season. He's got a 50% DNF rate, which is not good of Andenge at the moment. He's only finished 5 Grand Prix so far this season. Andenge has. He wants to put that stat to bed, doesn't he? And have a strong second half of the season. Of course, we are at the British Grand Prix. The British Grand Prix, Austrian, and the French Grand Prix have all been swapped around this season, haven't they? Because it used to be Canada, then it used to be Austria, France, and Britain, didn't it? Or something along those lines. Well, it's now Britain, then Austria, then France. So that might have caught a couple of drivers out then. Just on board with Andenge. I thought it stopped raining from that shot then, but I love that shot there as they come with the brow of the hill. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Andenge then. Look at the car. It's really not very pointy out there, is it? But that is due to the weather conditions then. I think a lot of... he's been a bit too greedy, hasn't he? Coming on the Wellington straight there, Andenge has, and that is invalidated his time. And unfortunately, he is going to have to go round again then. Swiss Russian Records of France is a terrible track. It's a really good track for league racing, but it's a terrible track to watch in the real world of Formula 1, isn't it? So we're just watching Sly Guy coming out of left field. KD saying that KD tracks incoming. Of course, KD will be loving that fact, won't he? As if he's going to be rubbing his hands with glee. He's had a bit of a difficult spell. He hasn't scored in the last 2 Grand Prix. KD was very unlucky. KD was very unlucky in the Grand Prix on Friday, and he has now dropped to. Well, he is for in the World Championship, but that has allowed Cowie to extend his lead in the World Championship, of course. Just on board with Sly Guy, as Nosey says he likes turtles, and I think turtles will be loving this weather as well, then. So I think that Nosey and turtles are going to be enjoying themselves at Silverstone tonight. Just watching Sly Guy coming through Stowe. And coming into the final three corners here in Silverstone, and then just going to go around again. We got Boxtel on a quick lap as well. We've also got V Robbie down the hanger straight. Then what about Sly Guy? What is the mark that the Sly Guy has thrown down? It's a 35.4 so far for Sly Guy, and that's a very good time then to start us off. And good gracious me, out of the final turn then for Boxtel, and where did Boxtel put himself on? He's done a 35.7 so far. What about V Robbie? V Robbie then also across the line. He goes third fastest at this moment in time there. Danger Times then, and final turn for Danger Times then. We haven't got a clock on him, but he's third fastest there. A couple of tenths away from Sly Guy at the moment. Julian's not been at the races in this race tonight, has he? But just as I say that, he is back up in his second now. Good grief there. 3 tenths away, though, from the pole sitter at the moment. What can Blaze do? Because Blaze has been in the postcode of Sly Guy. Sly Guy, as Humphrey said, that Sly Guy just took off the sandbags here. What can Blaze do then? He's done a 35.5. He is in the postcode, just under a tenth of a second away. My grief, and it is going to be a showdown of all showdowns. Epic the Animal is thinking about the wet wear tyres there. Epic to the soft side. Well, was then Katie is saying, well, he must have been on the soft side, and now he's gone to wet wear tyres. I don't think we're going to see dry tyres in this session here tonight, unfortunately. And then down the back straight, and of course, unfortunately, invalidated his last. Invalidated his last time there as well. Katie's saying, I need a bounce back. Haha! I got to take advantage of the next races, which I'm good at then as well. I do always seem to talk about people's worst form. And Edge across the line for fastest. What goodness gracious me! I'm loving to see an Andej drive there. Fantastic 70. Prepare for no mercies. Katie is saying, and I think Andej is doing the same here tonight. And he's 2 tenths a second away from Sly Guy, who's currently fast at the moment. Sly Guy is going for a 6th pole position in 10 qualifying attempts here this season. Then, so goodness gracious me, Sly Guy is the king of qualifying at the moment. Sly Guy Q1 qualifying, in fact, nice Q3 grip feels horrid out there. So his rain has just been for similar intensity all the way through this qualifying, hasn't it? Which is a shame, really. I do like it when the rain is very much mixed up in the air. On board with Danger Times, who is starting his lap off as well. I think he's the only driver out there who's attacking the course, as he's now into the new part of the sector, which I'm not really a fan of. But that's because I'm a golden oldie. I do prefer the Silverstone circuit before 2011. Danger Times down the Wellington Straight. Says Russia, better order more meds if Katie's going ham. And we've also got banned KD, as I was saying, and good gracious me. Out of left field for the McLaren driver. I'm going over the national straight down. Of course, this is where the old start-finish straight used to be when I was a young nipper back many moons ago. Into Copse Corner, which they flattened out back in 96 or 97, didn't they? Goodness gracious me, I'm showing my age as well. Now becoming into Maggis and Beckett said, you do hear the pundits talk about that, about around this part of the circuit is where the best place to watch a Formula 1 car in the world. The direction change is absolutely phenomenal. And KD has found, Danger Times has found the 10th of a second down the hanger straight then before flicking it into Stowe Corner as well. Stowe Corner, bad memories for Ferrari drivers, and that's where Michael Schumacher's championship quest for the 99 World Championship came to an end now. Unfortunately, and it's a shame that Ferrari didn't do any more developments on that car, because potentially they could have won that season with Eddie Irvine. Danger Times goes out with his teammate as well. That's an important time there for Danger Times. Remember, he is leading the championship at the moment. He hasn't won a race though since Portugal, about 5 races ago now for Danger Times. But it's all about keeping the points coming in though for himself and McLaren. Into the pits comes Blaze. There's still a long way to go in this qualifying session, and we've still got 4 minutes to go. Let's see what Goodness me, Crazy Bill feathering up front. He's gone 7 fast, man. Crazy Bill has a 35.8. He's a bit behind the 8 ball, Crazy Bill is. I think he might want to be a bit further in this qualifying squabble, but he's 8th on the grid. He's on row 4, which is nothing to sneeze at, is it really? All right, let's go on board now with Sligo, who's looking at making this look far too easy at the moment, isn't he? On these very difficult conditions. On board now with Sligo going across the line. The pole for Paul is out now into turn 1 there. Goodness me, I thought he was going to have a snap of oversteer there and go off in a horrific instant there, but no such problem there for Sligo. Now into the new part of the course then, accelerating away then. I think that's the loop, isn't it? Do not run too wide then. He doesn't even use any part of the curve at all then. Goodness gracious me, he's just drifting onto the Wellington Straight as well. Yellow flags is floating at the end of the Hanger Straight. We're down on the Wellington Straight at the moment now, so Sligo's not going to be too concerned about that. He's 3/10 of a second up in the first split alone here. He's going to be in the 34s then here in Silverstone. Goodness gracious me, Sligo's got 2 votes to Blaze and Danger Times, 1 so far in the pole. Accelerating out of left field as well. Coming through the Ode start-finish straight as well. He's using a lot of the inside track there as well. And he's also using a lot of the outside curve as well. And he knows the car can stick then, going through Copse Corner as well, not running too wide. Fantastic commitment and faith in the Ferrari car. Now into Maggots and Beckett's as well then. And now coming up into Chapel as well then. It's this a part of the course, you just get slower and slower. Goes a bit wider and taking a lot of the grass as well. Goodness me, he's got grass. He's got grip on the grass, on off the grass as well. He's gone purple in sector 2. Yellow flags and Epic is just getting out of the way then. Now into Stoke Corner as well. Not much of a breaking point then, dropping down to 4th gear before going back at the 5th almost instantly. Now he's got 3 more corners to go then. You do not want to attack this. This is just about getting the lap time done now. This is a superb lap for Sligo. Out of 17, out of 18 as well. That was a beautiful lap. It's a 34.996. That's pole position by half a second. Job is done, or is it? Is that game, set and match then for Sligo? Well, I think it's going to be very difficult for anyone to match that. That's a superb lap there, and you felt it. You felt it when we was on board with Sligo. That was a supreme lap. V Robbie's on the lap as well. Crazy Bill very much on the edge of the limit of that car. So is Box Tower. That's over the limit there for Box Tower, and he's off the circuit. And he is spun now. Is he going to hit the barrier? No, he's okay then. Julian has gone second fastest there, and that has really put me in my place there. As Julian, I thought, was a bit beyond the 8 ball here, and he has now gone second fastest on there. Box Tower is trying to compose himself there and go for one more shot here in qualifying then. Of course, Box Tower leading the Division 2 World Championship at the moment there. The pole has ended. Sligo and Blaze that have got 2 votes each. Good gracious me, that. Out of the final turn, and Box Tower's going for it again. We're going to stick with Crazy Bill, but he's invalidated this time. Crazy Bill has there. And that is, unfortunately, that is not good at all. He does have 1 more shot, though. Epic then, now we're just joining Epic then as we come through into Chapel as well. My golly gosh then, the results have ended again. Oh no, they have ended again. Yeah, so it's 2-2 between Blaze and Sligo then. And well, I've got to say, I do agree with you guys, and that's absolutely, it's very much nip and tuck, isn't it? I can't believe Julian's on, and that came out of nowhere, hasn't it? And we're just watching his teammate now, which is Epic. As Crazy Bill is retired then in the entry into turn 2, I think it is, or turn 3 it is on the map there, so that's unfortunate. Out of the final turn then, and across the line, and here he goes 7 fast at the moment. Good stuff indeed then. Sligo is going for another bite of cherry now then, so Sligo's still got a bit more time on the board. Blaze has got to cross the line then. What about the Red Bull driver V Robbie? He is currently 9 fast at the moment. V Robbie is so not much then. Danger Times has missed the cut-off there, and he's out of quality. Sorry, he's out of qualifying. He's 4 fast there. I wonder if that is going to be if he's going to be regretting that. Julian can improve here, but he's now on the front row of the grid there. That came out of nowhere, didn't it? Fantastic. Box Tower's invalidated again then, so Box Tower is going to remain 6 at the very least in this qualifying session there. No one is improving on their laps at the moment, and Denge is 2 thousandths of a second down at the moment. Goodness gracious me. Serpent is saying push. Thank you very much to the new follow as well, Serpent there. Virtual high five. I absolutely love it. Brilliant stuff, Ben. And Box Tower's retired from the session moment, and Denge is superb. He's back in this, isn't he? Runs a bit wide. That's too wide there, and the car didn't stick. He's in the wall. Exactly where Fernando Alonso spun in 2012 in the British Grand Prix qualifying, and Andench is going to be no higher than 5th, and that's a scary part of the track to spin on. I think Mark Webber, didn't he spin at that part of the track in 2008 there? Unfortunately, Mark Webber, fortunately, was on the front row of the grid in that race, but that just went completely wrong, didn't it? Unfortunately then. Now flicking it down into Stowe as well, and Epic then is almost on fumes here in the Williams car. Sly Guy is trying to push even further, and he's on a quicker lap again by the looks of things. Actually, you can see very visually he's gaining over Epic. Across the line for Epic, and where's it going to be? Stay 7 fastest. Epic is across the line, and Epic goes fast. Sly Guy goes faster still. Good heavens! What about Blaze? Has he got any answer? He hasn't, but he's on the front row of the grid, half a second away for Blaze. And that is in the qualifying. And it's Sly Guy, his 6th pole position of the season in 10 qualifying. That is pole position now. I think that's probably one of his best, isn't it now? He was just getting quicker and quicker for Sly Guy throughout the course of that qualifying session now. Car 46 in the Ferrari on pole position now. It feels like a repeat, doesn't it? But it's not a repeat there. Sly Guy pole position for the 6th time this season. Supreme stuff there for Sly Guy. And that's his 2nd in a row as well. Ferrari are going to be overjoyed at that, because I think that's also Ferrari's 6th pole position this season as well, if I'm not very much mistaken. I am not very much mistaken, so good stuff indeed. So Sly Guy is going to be loving life in that Ferrari. Well, good heavens. Sly Guy then is only 6 away from the highest pole sitter on the grid at the moment, which is Milan, who has 12 pole position in his career. So Sly Guy, goodness me, not too far away. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Right then, let's get on with it then, as we are now at the start of the British Grand Prix as well. And of course, if any of you are staying up late for this absolutely epic Grand Prix, then thank you, because this is definitely going to be worth the wait, I assure you of that. Then let me get rid of all my notifications and let us begin then. I've heard that it's going to be a dry race here tonight, which is beautiful indeed. But the strategy is maybe a medium to softs or a softs to medium then, unless something untoward happens. Then maybe an early safety car. Potentially we do have a chance of safety cars around here, because if you go off, you've got to go off in a horrific way, because it is so quick around here. It is indeed that. Keza and Equaz saying a hell of a lap then. Keza saying a hell of a lap. KD, hell of a lap indeed then. It was an absolutely spectacular lap when he was on board, and he went even quicker than that when we left him. It was an impressive lap, wasn't it? I think the Sly Guy did probably 3 laps in that qualifying free session where he would have been on pole position. Absolutely mega stuff indeed there for the Ferrari driver. His 6th pole position of the season for the Ferrari driver. Now, can he convert it into a win then? Sly Guy's had 2 Grand Prix wins this season. 3 apiece over between the McLaren drivers, the Danger Times and Blaze. And Epic, of course, has got a Grand Prix win as well. So it's very much the championship is very much on the edge at the stands moment. Can anyone stop the 2 McLaren drivers then? Because Blaze who's got the edge over his teammate in qualifying trim then, but let's see about the race. And Danger Times is on the 2nd row of the grid. Let's go for the grid then. You see then we've got softs and mediums there. There is no hard tyre in sight then in this session. I do not expect the hard tyre unless it goes a bit too peak tongue then. Medium tyres for Sly Guy, for Blaze, for Danger Times, for V Robbie, Milan, Clarkey, Sully, Scotty and Tygo. Everyone else is on the soft. Let's go for the grid. So it's Tygo who got a 5-place grid penalty for his collision with Clarkey, unfortunately. So he is on the back row of the grid, Tygo is. So Ferrari are bookend in the front and the back of the field there. We have got Cartboy in 19th on the grid there, with Gurman 18th then. The world champion Gurman right down the back of the field. Then 17th for Slough in the Alpine car. 16th for Vintage as well. Vintage has been in every single division now, I think. Mosley in 15th in the Aston Martin. Scotty had a horrific incident in the Aston Martin in 14th, in the Mercedes in 14th position. Hopefully he's dusted himself off and got himself going. 13th position is Troy. He had technical gremlins in qualifying, which marred his progression there. Hopefully Troy has got that sorted as well. Sully in 11th position there, 12th position there. Clarkey, who had an incident as well, in 10th position. Same with Milan, who's also in 10th. No, 2 cars can be in 10th position, can they? Clark in 11th position there, Milan in 10th position. V Robbie in 9th there. Crazy Bill is in 8th position. Epic is in 7th, and it's from the championship. Epic is at Boxtel, the leader in the championship of Division 2, who of course had a Super 7 for Mercedes for the 4th race in a row. And Dench is back in the box towels in the wall then, and that's not good at all. He was being a bit too, I think he was a bit too overzealous on the tyre war up there. Andej in 5th position. Can he get off to a, can he get some points then? Andej, as I mentioned, he's had a 50% DNF rate this season. Danger Tom's the championship leader in 4th position at the moment. As it stands, he will not lose the lead in the championship. He does have a 42 lead over Blaze then. 3rd position, Julian. Great to see him back there. Of course, he had a great race in Canada a week ago. 2nd position is Blaze, who's hunted down his championship rival and his teammate. And Sly got the 6th time this season. He's on pole position then for Grand Prix in Division 1 in car 46 then. As you can see, Sly Guy just checking his mirrors and seeing that all the cars are lining up on the grid then for the start of the Grand Prix. Just waiting for those lights to come on then. And when they go on, they are starting up one at a time then. We have 4, we have 5. And it's lights out, and it's go, go, go for the British Grand Prix. And Sly Guy's had the perfect start. That Epic is dropping down the order there, and Andej is right off the circuit. Andej has gone right off the circuit, and he's dropped down into 7th position so far. Yellow flags because Milan is off the circuit as well. Danger Tom has got past Julian and moved himself up into 3rd position, or has he? Because he's dropped back down the order. Has he? Good grief there. And look at this, and now they're going wheel to wheel down the Wellington Straight as well. Up 2 positions, Epic then, and that's a Mercedes off in the background. Now Scotty, who's dropped it there, we're coming into the Wellington Straight there, and Blaze has taken the lead in the British Grand Prix. He is 4 Sly Guy wide, but Sly Guy's got the inside line into Luffield. And goodness gracious me, is this a replay of Verstappen and Hamilton back in the 2001 British Grand Prix? There is that going over the national pit straight now then, and look at this then, he's going for it, he's having a look then, not quite, and he thinks better of it then. This is an important stage of the Grand Prix. He's now got Julian in 3rd position now. He's regained the advantage over Danger Thomas, who's now in 4th position now. Boxtel in 5th position. Andej is on a horrific start down in 6th position. Back at the front then. Sly Guy is very much on the back foot at the moment now, isn't he? And let's see, what is Blaze going to be? Is Blaze going to be all over the back now then? Goodness gracious me, he is all over the back now. He comes out of the slipstream now. Blaze is flying, he's on the outside, and he takes the lead then, or does he go? No, because Sly Guy is staying on the inside as well as he running out wide there, but Blaze has the inside line into turn 16 here. Blaze from the inside, but Sly Guy just breaks so much later and keeps the line there. Scotty's got a 3-second penalty right at the back of the field. Then Knowlesy and Gertman are also fighting for position. Tiger's now in the 15th position as well. That one completed the gap. It's less than a 10th of a second in between Blaze and Ferrari. So Sly Guy going into turn 1 there. And this is incredible racing from both the two drivers. And Blaze is having a look up the inside. Not quite though. Sly Guy there is defending for all the money for all the positions here. And Julian's now up into 2nd position as well. Scotty's got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. That's a pit and quit there for Scotty, so that's disappointing, isn't it? And that's probably minus points then for the Mercedes team then. And a horrific season for Mercedes overall at the moment. Now Sly Guy is now up into, he's now got 3-10 for a second lead though, but Julian is on the softer compounded tyres, and Clarkey's out of the Grand Prix. And where is he? He's gone right off and into the gravel there. Remember that Brendan Hartley crashed there a couple of years ago in the Toro Rosso. Goodness gracious me, and that's right off the circuit. Clarkey out of the race, Scotty out of the race as well. And that is an absolute, that is such a shame there. That is such a shame for Clarkey, who was looking very good indeed, was in this race then. But he is out of the Grand Prix, and Haas is still struggling to get any points there. But we still have Vintage in this race there, and Vintage is a man that very much collects points there, and that's exactly what the Haas team needs right now. So we've got a virtual safety car, as the virtual safety car is out there, which will nullify or neutralise the Grand Prix then. Goodness gracious me. Irvine's not happy with the pit and quit there, and yes, it's not that's not very good at all then. So virtual safety car at the moment, and I don't think anyone's going to pit. Having said that, we do have, well, as soon as I say that, Andej is in the pits, and what a shame for Andej. A 5-second penalty for Cardboy for speed in the pit lane. We also have Knowlesy in the pits as well. So you have virtual safety car. It's the longest pit lane here in terms of time lane. So that is such a shame. And Milan has major damage to the car as well, unfortunately. Goodness gracious me. Kes has asked if Scotty's finished a race yet. Let me get the ODA book out. He has finished one race where he got third in Spain. But yeah, that's a bit of a shame as well. I'll catch up with your comments in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Into the pits comes Knowlesy. They're changing, and now we're back racing then. And now who's got the jump then? So can Julian there, we're on board with him now. Then he's not using any errors at the moment. They're going down at the Wellington Straight here. And this is exactly what you guys wanted to see, wasn't there? Of course, it was worth the wait. Then we had to delay it for an hour here tonight then for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. But my goodness me, fantastic, isn't it? But Sly Guy leads the Grand Prix with Julian in second position, Blaze in third there. Danger Tom's the championship leader, is losing 3 points to his championship role at the moment. But Sly Guy is on the cusp and breaking into the top 3 of the World Championship for the first time this season, if I'm not very much mistaken, which I probably am. Julian on the soft tires, he needs to make hay whilst the sun is shining. And Clark is there for session, he's furious about that, he's out of the Grand Prix. That is major blow then. And look at this, and Sly Guy is so good, isn't he, through that selection course. I absolutely admire the man, fantastic. But Julian takes the lead going into Stowe. Before he gets to Stowe, Julian flew off the chapel, and now he leads the British Grand Prix. Julian then, who's had a bit of up and down since joining Hyperdrive, but let's see what he can do. Then he had a cracking Canadian Grand Prix, didn't he? He was absolutely fantastic. Now he's got that result behind him. Let's see what he can do then. He's got the momentum as well. He's also purple in the final sector as well, which means he's the fastest out of everyone on track at the moment as they flick through turn 2. Lovely shine. Look at these cars. Oh, I'm losing my voice. Look at those beautiful cars, and absolutely fantastic. But Sly Guy's not going to leave him alone for the moment, is he? But Julian, let's see what he can do. Out of onto the hanger straight, then 3/10 second. The DRS has now been enabled then, so of course there is the drag reduction system very much in play now for Sly Guy, for Blaze, for Danger Times, for Epic, Boxtown, Crazy Bill, V Robbie, Troy, Sloth, all the way down the top 10 have all got DRS at the moment. Back on board with Sly Guy. He's using the urge. You can tell that because there's a green bar that pops up on the steering wheel as well then, but Julian still has the advantage as well, flicking into Cops. Oh, Julian's gone wide there. That may be a warning there. So who is that going off? Goodness me. Troy is going off to Wiltshire. That, goodness gracious me. Now Crazy Bill's got a 3-second penalty as well. That's the first 3-second penalty of the event in the top 10. Then Crowd Boy's also got I think he's got a 5-second penalty as well. Look at this. Julian is going to be able to defend here then. And look at this. Goodness me. Did he just max out there? I don't think Sly Guy wanted to overtake there, did he? Or maybe he just maxed out there. But he's still in 7th gear, because I'm sure that wasn't top speed there. So Sly Guy just letting Julian keep the lead for the minute. Interesting stuff there. Remember what we've seen with Leclerc and Verstappen in the Grand Prix today, then, they didn't want to overtake each other before the DRS straight. And I'm wondering if Sly Guy may be thinking a couple of steps in front here, flicking it into turn 1. Then it's so easy to lose the car in that corner, isn't there? Because the downforce is very much being maxed out there, isn't there? And certainly the cars are not going to have full downforce here, are they? As we've got, I think Andenj will probably need a safety car now to get himself back into this Grand Prix. Milan is limping in the AlphaTauri, unfortunately, and now go down the Wednesday straight. And Epic having a sniff on the inside of Danger Times then, but nothing doing it just yet. Going through Luffield then, as we're on lap 5 already of the British Grand Prix. Good gracious me, then, it's absolutely flying out here at the moment. Fantastic stuff indeed there. As we go over the national grid, national pit straight as well, or it used to be the pit straight, didn't it, way back when, going into Copse Corner then, and I'm enjoying this one. Then Troy has dropped off the back of Sloth now, so the DRS train Blaze is now actually closer to the back of Sly Guy than Sly Guy is to the back of Julian. We're on board Blaze then. Of course, Blaze got a 3-time win, has won 3 times this season, but once again Sly Guy out of Chapel just launches off that corner. Fantastic as well. Look at the top 3 then. Goodness gracious me, Julian is going to defend that. They can't defend that because Sly Guy is already past the Williams driver and moves up into the lead of the Grand Prix. Fantastic. Now then, can Sly Guy just start to pull away? Can he get out of the DRS range then here? He does have the speed over 1 lap pace, but what about the race pace as well? It's 2 completely different things, isn't it, in this game then? Sloth has got the fast half the race down in 9th position at the moment. Good gracious me, that is very much line on stern at the moment. We're on lap 6, we're 20 laps to go, and I haven't even spoke about the winners and losers from the open end stage of this Grand Prix. Sloth have 8 positions, fantastic. Same with Tiger as well, who had a nightmare qualifying, crashed heavily at the final turn, and also had a collision with Clarkey, but he's now up in the 12th end. Andenj down 10 positions there. Milan is also down 4 as well, having a bit of a nightmare start to this Grand Prix as we're going into Brooklands. Wellington straight, not long enough there. Danger Time's just hanging on to the back of him. Look at these cars, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars there, all loving DRS at the moment. Magnificent indeed, and I'm loving this. Absolutely great stuff, then, as we flick it, as we flick it up then and go through Cop's Corner as well. And goodness, that graces me then. We're on board with Blaze as well then, as we go once again through Magnus and Beckett's there. So I'm just leaning with the Blaze alone, and he is flying through that part of the circuit there. Oh, it's a soft tire struggling already here. I was expecting soft tire to go to at least lap 10, 11 here, but Julian is starting to lose ground there on Sly Guy. But Sly Guy, well, I say lose ground. Oh my goodness me! And Julian's going for the lead in this, and he slides up the inside, passes Sly Guy, and moves himself up into the lead of the British Grand Prix. But Sly Guy is coming back at him then into the final couple of turns here, and Sly Guy still keeps the lead then of the British Grand Prix. They're all over the back, and then Gerben's got a 3-second penalty. That is going to be crucial in this race, I feel, then across the line then to complete lap 6 of the British Grand Prix. Goodness gracious me then. Sly Guy, Julian, Blaze, Danger Times, Animal, Boxtail, Bill, V, Robbie, and Sloth. Oh, goodness gracious me then. And we got a bit of a DRS train in this Grand Prix at the moment, and fantastic stuff indeed. Oh my gosh, we're now on board now with Julian. So we have got Sly Guy, Blaze and Danger Times. They're all going to be on the medium compound tires, and there's 2 McLarens and 2 Williams in this battle at the moment. So this is going to get very interesting indeed then about strategy. There's only 1 garage per team, so the team cannot service 2 cars at the same time. So 1 driver is going to lose out potentially here. So we're going to have to see about which team is going to, which car is going to lose what then. Of course, the Blaze, who is the leader of the McLaren team, and Julian is the leader of the Williams team at the moment now. Will they get? They will get first option, of course. However, of course, Animal is third in the championship, and one of Julian may have to give way to his team leader then. But of course, we're not even at half distance out of the World Championship, and Julian, I think, now he's found his feet then, and has really got the bit between his teeth. I think that Julian is going to be a major player in this World Championship, and he's on the inside again, and Julian this time uses all of his battery, I think, now, and goes up into the lead of the Grand Prix. There is the battery status. It's not in his Sly Guy. I thought he's going to look them back on board now with the pole sitter, then 6-time pole sitter now, Sly Guy. Goodness gracious me, he's only 6 away from Milan. Across the line then, it's on lap 8 then. Julian leads the way then with Blaze in second position at the moment. No, he isn't. With Blaze in third then. So let's see what this one does then. So Danger Tom's starting to probably be looking over his shoulder here now. Epic is not too far away, but I thought I was boxed out on a sniff on the inside there of Epic, but Epic was saying no dice at the moment now. Now going down in as Andens has got a 3-second penalty here. Unfortunately for Andens, and his qualifying performance was absolutely supreme. Was he stood up in the seat of that Alfa Romeo. Danger Time has all convoyed there into Brooklyn. There, but Epic there could not take advantage there. Remember, Epic is on the supposed quicker tyre here. Danger Time's got a lot of batteries, you can see down the bottom there, but Epic there should be trying to make hay whilst the sun is shining around here, and it's absolutely a beautiful day here in Silverstone. Fantastic. We need to get you two out there, and they might have to blast their hit song from the 2000, I think it was. Good gracious me, I'm showing my age again. On board with Danger Time's money. It's going to be Epic who is going to be very much keen on this one. Blaze is half a second away from Sly Guy here, because Sly Guy is really putting the pressure once again on. Is he going to be close enough then? He is gaining, but not close enough then. And Epic was not quick at all around that down that back straight. Who is going to blink first then? Because whoever has the undercut here could potentially lead this Grand Prix. So the soft runners there maybe in the box seats then. Lap 9 out of 26 here then. Looking down further down the field at the moment, we do have Sully in 10th position, good 7D there for Sully, but we have Troy in 11th there, Tygo in 12th position, German penalty in 13th there, Milan is limping wounded in 14th, unfortunately. Look at this, and goodness gracious me, look at this train of cars here, look at the incredible talent in this train as well. Absolutely sensational stuff indeed. I'm absolutely loving this Grand Prix so far, fantastic. I just want to sit back and relax there, but goodness me, if I can't relax, nor can the drivers either. And Sloth, and I say, very close to the back of V Robbie, are once again in the Division 2 drivers of V Robbie, Boxtown and Tygo doing a supreme job at that. Superb 17 Vintage there, 15 seconds away at the moment there from Knowlesy down in 18th position, but Vintage I think is going to be a key player if of course if we have a safety car later on then, but he's still in this race, and that is exactly what Vintage needs to do for the Haas team to really turn around their efforts at the moment there of the appalling start to their constructors campaign. back on board then with Sly Guy. This is an important Grand Prix, isn't it, for Sly Guy? But at the moment, he is outscoring his championship competitors of Blaze, Danger Times, and Epic then. And look, Julian's the first driver into the pits then, so he's in the pits and he has released Sly Guy, who takes the lead of the British Grand Prix. Anyone else coming to the pits? No, they've all stayed out then. So it's just Julian, the race leader, that's coming to the pits. I wonder if he burnt his tyres up a bit too much then when he was battling with Sly Guy here. And he is now in the pits. And the question is then, it's a long pit lane as well here then. So the question is he going to come out on a clean piece of track then? There's a humongous gap between Milan and Andenge here. So I think that is the gap where who am I talking about? Goodness gracious me. That's the gap where Julian wants to come out on his medium tyres and really put his toe down here. But now can Sly Guy get away from Blaze? And he's finding it very difficult to get away from these cars behind him. Epic, Boxtel, Crazy Bill, Sloth and Sloth at the moment. They're all on soft tyres. I expect them to come in the next couple of laps or so. Just a quick update on Julian. He's come up behind Andenge, and that's not good at all. On this lap, he wanted to do a qualifier to make sure that he does stay in front of these drivers, and he did have the advantage then, but he's got through Andenge already going down the Wellington straight then, so that is important stuff there from Julian. Now he needs to put his toe down, do some qualifiers, doesn't he? Sloth, who is all over the back of V Robbie, but unfortunately he had to drop back, who was too close going through Chapel, wasn't he? V Robbie was, and he's lost the momentum, and he has had to drop back. Blazers on the outside of Sly Guy, but he was a bit too far back out of Chapel as well. But Blazers going this way now to distract the Ferrari driver. Into the pits comes the Alpine of Sloth, I think it was, in the background. It is indeed then. So Sloth is the second man to blink then out of this top 9 cars. Good gracious me, across the line they come then. And the Sly Guy is still leading this Grand Prix at the moment. We have got so Sloth is on the pits and he hasn't been serviced in his box yet, and we're just having a look on the left-hand side telemetry on the left-hand side tower, and he has still not been serviced yet. Now he's been served. He's on the medium compound tyres. Now they should get to the end here because these tyres should last forever and a day around here. So when is Sloth going to get out then? Julian is just coming around the final turns one, and let's see how much time he lost behind Andenge, who is on the hard tyres. Andenge is there, but it should be easily done then. Goodness me, I thought Blaze went to the back of that Sly Guy there, very close to the back of the Ferrari, but luckily, but goodness me, it just shows how incredible these drivers are, and they could they just break almost inches, centimeters, millimeters, time after time. They do not miss their braking points at any stretch of the imagination. It's absolutely incredible, isn't it, as we go into Copse Corner once again. And Sully and Troy doing a very good job in 8th and 9th position at the moment. They just probably want a calm and calculated race, and however the top is anything but calm and calculated, with Blaze and Danger Times very much pushing the envelope of Sly Guy here on board with V Robbie, who is quite close to the back of Crazy Bill. But you've also got a bum, and look, Blaze has taken the lead of the Ferrari, taking the lead over the Ferrari driver, and he is through. V Robbie didn't get past Crazy Bill though, and looks like they're on board now. He's having a look on the inside. Now Blaze has got the lead. Can he now pull away? Epic in the pits. Crazy Bill is also in the pits as well. Serge Russian saying that the Soft should come into the pits now. Indeed they are. Epic, German and Troy are all in the pits then. Now, let's see what Blaze can do then. I'm wondering if Blaze is quicker than Sly Guy at this stage of proceedings then. And we'll see if he is then. Because he needs to get out of that 1 second gap then to really help himself out. Boxtel has stayed out for the minute then. So, interesting stuff there for Boxtel. And because at the moment, the soft tyres does seem to have enough grip then, because they are not dropping off the medium mirrors at the moment. V Robbie still loving life there. Julian is now going up the order, and he has come out in front of all his fellow soft runners there, and has now moved himself into some fresh, beautiful air then, with Milan just in front of him. Milan is limping wounded though. That's why Milan is not in this battle at the moment, because of the damage on the car, unfortunately. And now we go into Copse Corner, and look at this, and Sly Guy there who's just sitting in second position at the moment now. Animal has just got past Andenge. Just a nightmare race for Andenge, unfortunately. That is such a shame now for Andenge, wasn't it? Because as we mentioned in the qualifying show, he was supreme, wasn't he? But it's just not gone his way at all. We've seen him skating off at turn 1, and now we got Sly Guy who's getting very close to the back of Blazer, but not close enough. Blazer's got quite a slippery car going down into Copse Corner. And just looking backwards, Boxtel has decided to stay out here then, so he's becoming a thorn in the side then of these top 3 then. But interesting stuff for Boxtel. Maybe, of course, he had a bit of a nightmare race got a bit of a nightmare, didn't he, back in Division 2 then. Unfortunately, Boxtel did that, but he is now staying out at the moment. Into the pits comes Sully. He's the first driver on the medium compound tires to come back into the pits. To come into the pits on the medium tires. Interesting indeed. Serious Russia has talked about how well Sly Guy's doing on the ERS. Watch how well Sly uses his ERS. It's very impressive indeed. That Blaze not using too much ERS either at the moment. We're sort of half distance. Then Sloth is set the fast up the race. Sully is now on soft tires and at half distance. Are those soft tires going to get to the end from here? Well, Boxtel has certainly done the same. So I think that. So I think Sully should be able to do the same as well. Julian is now in 8th position there. We've got Epic who's a second behind him in 9th position as well. The order is going to change quite drastically when the pit window opens for these medium runner tires here. So this is going to get very interesting indeed. Boxtel, remember, he'll have 4-lap fresher tires than Julian if he when it comes into the pits. I've got 3 at the moment, then I can't count, but he will have almost 3-4 lap younger tires then when Boxtel comes into the pits. So I got then once again run out of straight, believe it or not, down that hangar straight then. But I do believe that Blaze is a very quick car at the moment. Fantastic. V. Robbie has also decided to come in the pits as well then. So I wonder if he's now initiated the undercut then. Out to the final turn then. Blaze still leads the race there with Danger Times in second. With Sly Guy in second, where Danger Times in third there. Pit stops then for V. Robbie and Milan then. So they're all coming into the pits now, whilst the top 4 drivers are staying out then here. Danger Times then is just keeping an eye on his championship rivals. And however, one championship rival of Epic the Animal is very fast at this stage of teams. He's much quicker than his teammates. He's just cruised up to the back of his teammate here at this stage. Goodness gracious me, that I'm not sure if Julian's made a mistake or whatnot, but Epic is flying on the medium compound tires at the moment now. I wonder if the Williams team might have to do a switcheroo here if they want to win this Grand Prix, because Epic is lighting up the timing sheets at the moment in 7th position now. Good stuff indeed there for Epic, and here they are then. And Julian now, yes, the gap was about 1.5 seconds, wasn't it? 1.5 seconds now going down the Wellington straight as well. Epic is then, but he's not close enough at the moment. Crazy Bill is having a lunge on them. It's having a lunge on Andedge. That gap was going to close. That's great manoeuvre there from Crazy Bill, but Andedge is not giving up there. Look, V. Robbie on the soft tires as well. It's all over the back. It's all over the back. And I said it's going to be a simple, straightforward one stopper here, but that's not the case at all. Now we've got Crazy Bill who's on the inside of Andedge. Andedge is trying to fight as much as possible. Crazy Bill has the softer tire, and he does have the pace as well. Oh my goodness me, Blaze in the pits, and look at that, fantastic from V. Robbie, fantastic manoeuvre. Wrong Alpha, and now we're back with V. Robbie, and now Anden just dropped down into 11th position now. Epic, who is now gaining on his teammate here. Blaze is in the pits, and no, he isn't. What's going on with Blaze? And I thought he was in the pits, but now he's in the pits. No, he's had some. Oh, goodness gracious me. I don't know what's going on with Blaze then. And he's gone. Oh, gosh, this is. I'm hoping that he's coming out the pits. I'm hoping Boxtel's coming out the pits as well, but they're going around the wrong way. Okay, we'll leave them to it for the minute. So just now is the timing towers going all over the show at the moment. Epic the Animals out there. Where is those McLaren? Where's the McLaren? And I have no idea what's going on there. Goodness gracious me. All kinds of stuff is going on. Blaze is, well, I'm not sure if Blaze has had some kind of issue then. According to this, no, he's on the track now, so Blaze seems to be okay. Troy is there then, so Blaze in top position. No problem there for Blaze, albeit it does say he's in the pits then. Same with Boxtel as well, but luckily they're in 10th and 12th position. Goodness gracious me. Whew, that was worrying then, wasn't it? Yellow flag in sector 1. I'm not sure what that is for. V. Robbie's now all over the back of Bill. Goodness me, and then he's cut it off, and Data Time alongside him, Slider going into Stowe, but no dice at the moment. What about these two here going into Cobb's corner? And now can V. Robbie there? No, not quite there. Sly Guy's in the pits then, so Danger Times has stayed out here. Interesting strategy for Danger Times there. Sly Guy is in the pits then for the Fry. Where is he going to come out now then? So he is going to be on soft tires, and Tiger's in the pits as well. I think the Tiger's a bit too close to Sly Guy. This may hurt him here. Slothfen, who is look at it, that goodness me, and going into Stowe, and where is Slothfen? Sloth, goodness gracious me, banging wheels between V Robbie and Sloth, and then V Robbie's up the inside of Crazy Bill. It's very tight there. They're going to, that was going to be a pinch point as well. Julian across the line there. Where is Sly Guy? Sly Guy is out of the pits now, and he's just trundling down the pit lane then. How far away is he going to be then? He is not too far away at all here. So look at this then. I'm surprised it's because of the battling, it's because of these drivers battling tooth and nail, and Crazy Bill is not giving up an inch though from V Robbie at the moment. Then Crazy Bill is not having any of it, and he's going to run V Robbie wide then. He does indeed then, but V Robbie, oh goodness me, I thought he's flipping the bird there. And Crazy Bill is now gone defensive down the Wellington straight as well, and so V Robbie's going to go on the outside, but Crazy Bill goes wide then. V Robbie's going for the switcheroo here, not quite then. So and look at this, and Crazy Bill has positioned his car absolutely wonderfully here. Can V Robbie get on the power now? And he is going on the outside here into going on the outside here and then going on into Cop's corner as well. Goodness gracious me, then very impressive driving indeed then. So Sly Guy at the moment there, as Blaze has dropped right down the order then, hasn't he? So I'm not sure what's happened to Blaze then, as we had a kind of a kerfuffle, didn't we? And so Blaze, I'm wondering if something went majorly wrong in that pit stop window there for Blaze. We'll talk about that in a minute then, because I have no idea what's going on there. And now V Robbie is up into 5th position, and Crazy Bill has dropped down to 6th position. Knowles has got a 3-second penalty then, and V Robbie has lost an abundance amount of time then. Both the Williams drivers then are fighting away then, and it could be a 1-2 in a minute then. But Sly Guy has got soft tires then, with Epic in the 3rd position, Julian in 2nd then. Danger Time's coming on the pits now then. Blaze is all the way down in 11th position according to this one. Look at this then, and Sly Guy's going for the inside here, and that's a magnificent manoeuvre up the inside, takes 2nd position. A fantastic manoeuvre there, and Epic just didn't have anything to comeback on that then. Danger Time's out on soft tires as well. Teammate Blaze then, who's dropped right down to near the back of the field then, unfortunately. Julian then, who I thought would be a bit further up the road than that. Goodness gracious me, that are now dropping down then drop down to Brooklyn as well. Danger Times is now up into 4th position. V Robbie, who is now in 5th after some epic battling there. What has happened to Blaze then? He's down in 11th position at the moment then. Did he spin there coming out of the pits? And whatever the case may be, he is down in 11th position now, out of the points, and he is well behind Blaze and this is crucial in the World Championship. I hazard a guess then. Knowles has got past Troy as well. Only 2 retirements so far. Scotty and Clarkey retired earlier on this Grand Prix. Back on board now with Epic. The battle for the lead then is between the 2 Williams on the Ferrari, with Danger Times just a second back at the moment. Danger Times will be grinning from ear to ear. And now here comes Sly Guy on the outside, passes Julian, takes the lead of the British Grand Prix with 9 laps to go, and he has been absolutely formidable in this Grand Prix. Supreme stuff indeed. But we've now got the Alpines who are now fighting amongst themselves, and then Boxtel's gone up into 7th position, and he's now going to meet in the Alpine sandwich here. Lovely shot here from Sly Guy, because that's getting very hair and scarce. Sly Guy set the fast out of the race, and he's going for the whole shebang here. Pole fastest up and the race win, and at the moment now I can't see anyone stopping him. Danger Tom's could potentially get to 2nd here. We need to see what happens to Blaze because he is very much on the back foot now. As he Blazes, he's out of the points then, and that is a huge blow. The yellow flag in 3 as Milan has is dropping down the order like a stone. What's happened to Milan then? He has lost the whole of the wing section now. Milan has there, and he is down in 7th position. It's a nightmare race for Milan, unfortunately. Boxtel, who is just a bit too far back from Sloth at the moment now. Crazy Bill and Sloth, goodness me, the 2 Alpine drivers are on a supreme drive today, aren't they? That's a very impressive performance from the French outfit at the moment. They're absolutely great stuff. They're just going over the once again the old start finish straight. Sly Guy is now 2nd up, then he's out of the DRS range of Julian, and I'm wondering if the Williams drivers, Blaze got a 3-second penalty. I'm wondering if the Williams drivers potentially could. Oh, and Blaze, fantastic on the outside of Beckett's there, is through, passes Andenge and through up into 10th position. Now Andenge probably needs some kind of safety car to get himself back into this. Now the Williams have swapped position there. I wonder if they should have done that a couple of laps earlier potentially there, because I think Armor does have a quicker. Oh my gosh, that Boxtel's all over the back of Sloth defending, and now he's on the outside. That's a magnificent manoeuvre. That's fantastic there. Is he going to squeeze him out there? No, because look, Sloth is having none of it there. Verstappen and Leclerc between those two drivers. Incredible. And now we got Sully also involved as well. He's gone up the inside there. Good gracious me. The only person I remember actually going up the inside into turn one and making it stick was actually Sly Guy just a minute ago. And now we got Blaze up into ninth position, getting past Sully. Sully's going to lunge up the inside here. That is going to get very cozy here. And Blaze there, goodness me, going down the Wellington straight as well. My gosh, there's yellow flag as Milan has had issues coming into the pit lane here. Lovely shot here from the Alpine car. Nope, it isn't. It's the Sully's got 3 second penalty, forcing Blaze off the circuit, and he spun the car. And oh dear, and that was getting very oh goodness me, I was getting very cozy. And Blaze has spun off at left field then. And this race has become a nightmare now for the man who's second in the World Championship and potentially is losing second in the World Championship as well as it stands. And he is at the moment, unfortunately, for Blaze, and as Milan now coming out of the pits on soft tyres. Danger Times is off the circuit. What's happened there? Danger Times has spun the car. And my goodness me, the championship leaders in peril. Both McLarens are having some major problems. Milan is Milan, and safety car here. We got a safety car. Milan is having issues as well. And I'm not even sure how, but Milan, I thought, was in the pit lane, but somehow they start-finish straight. And Danger Times has spun the car. Sly Guy's in the pits then. Is anyone going to stay out? Julian is in the pits as well. V. Robbie is staying out here then. I think it's definitely a roll of the dice then. And goodness me. And I think as we're just on board then, Milan is on the pit straight then. I don't know how, but he is on the pit straight here, and he's that's not good at all, is it, for Milan's point of view? So Sly Guy is in. So this race that has really been thrown up in the air now and now. So Sly Guy in the pits, and he's already put on the soft compound tyres and for the Ferrari team. He's coming out of the pits now. He's going to be out right behind his teammate and Blaze as well. Blaze has been given a lifeline here, as has the two McLarens potentially. German now in 7th position. Sly Guy is coming out in 8th position. He's got a lot of work to do, Sly Guy, and Epic now has, but they come out of the pits. Troy in 9th position. 10th is Epic. Julian's down to 11th position as well. My goodness gracious me. Well, to be honest, I'm very confused as much as everyone else about how Milan got out there, but he's going to clip it for us, which is very good of him. Let's take a look at the penalty situation moment. Sully's got 3 seconds, Blaze got 3 seconds, German's got 6 seconds, 6 seconds for Bill and Denge, and 3 for Nosey and Cartboy. Goodness gracious me. As seriously want to say, Milan, you can't park there. It says it on the invisible wall. Then Menace Max, then did you make you lose your tyre after trying to pit, Milan? Then goodness gracious me. Kez saying Division 2 on top at the moment. They are indeed with V Robbie and Boxtel, but there's a long way to go indeed. Then Nosey and Kez are also confused about what is going on. Then as Milan was somehow parked on the start finish straight. Goodness gracious me. Right, so on the safety cars out at the moment then, so how long is the safety car going to stay out for? We do not know. The field is quite spread out at the moment. It's a golden opportunity then for Vintage to maybe steal some points here for the Haas team. He has just come out of the pits, and he's about half a minute behind from the rest of the field at the moment now. The safety car will probably stay out for another lap at least then once the back of the field comes out. So we're kind of probably going back racing on lap 22, I'd say, the British Grand Prix. Thank you for staying with us as well. Of course, it's 10 o'clock UK time now, of course, in UK trip anyway. So thank you very much for staying up then, of course, especially for guys and girls who have got to get up early in the morning. Unfortunately, I've got to get up at 6 o'clock, so that is not going to help me beauty sleeper whatsoever. Lap 21 then. Let's take stock here in the British Grand Prix. The beautiful Aston Martin safety car in all its glory is just leading us around there. V Robbie leads the Grand Prix, has got 6 laps on the soft tyres. Boxtel has done 5 laps, 7 laps for Sully. Danger Times, we seen him half spin just as the safety car came out then, coming into Chapel then. Tygo up into 5th down. He's of course, you also got to vote for Draw of the Day in a minute as well. Goodness gracious me. We've got Blazin now in 6th position as well, which was going horribly wrong for Blazin. German the champion in 7th position. Sly Guy the pole sitter in 8th position. Troy in 9th position. Epic in 10th with Julian in 11th position there. Crazy Bill 12th. And Denge 13th. Sloth in 14th. Nosey 15th. Cartboy in 16th position there. Got a fresh set of boots, Cartboy on Hazard, and he's going to join the back of the Crocodile along with Vintage as well. Retirements and Milan, who caused the safety car, somehow he's part on the Hamilton straight somehow. We've also lost Clarkey, and Scotty also did a pit and quit there, and minus 3 points unfortunately for the Mercedes team, unfortunately there. So that is a That is a shame indeed then. Of course, you can vote for Driver of the Day, of course, then, about how they've had a good race then. So, yes, the Driver of the Day vote will come up. And those who want Driver of the Day, hopefully, if you feel that no to get Driver of the Day, then throw him in there. However, I'm not sure if he'll be in the four options then at Knowles, isn't, because he's been a bit anomalous in this Grand Prix. Unfortunately, Knowles hasn't down in 15th position there, but this is a golden opportunity for the experienced drivers, the likes of Knowles, a three-time Grand Prix winner, to get himself back into this one and score some points for himself and the Aston Martin team. We'll soon find out then. But yes, driver of the day, potentially. So who do you reckon should be driver of the day? And the vote will come up in momentarily as well when Forrest pulls his finger out, and of course keep your eye on the votes as well then, as it does mean a lot to the drivers, or it certainly meant a lot to me, as I've got driver of the day on Tuesday. That's it, Tuesday. The safety car is staying out for one more. This is interesting now. So the safety car is staying out for one more lap then. So we're going to be racing on lap 23 here. Is that going to be enough time for the likes of Sly Guy, Epic, Julian, Bill, and co to meet to really stretch themselves then and get back through into the to where they were before then? This is going to get very interesting indeed now in the British Grand Prix. They all those drivers do have a very quick motor car underneath them, don't they? Especially Sly Guy, who was breezing past everyone left, right, and centre, wasn't he? Sly Guy was, but he does have a lot of overtaking to do, doesn't he? Sly Guy and Epic does, but Epic's in front of Julian now. Oh, I thought he was going to the back of safety car there. V Robbie was there. V Robbie, a driver from Division 2, 1 point behind at Boxtel in the World Championship from Division 2, and now they're both in the British Grand Prix, but they have rolled the dice here. They have stayed out on older tyres then. I'm surprised not more drivers stayed out on older tyres, to be fair, because the safety car is very close to the end of this Grand Prix. Just on board then with V Robbie at the moment. So this is the calm before the storm then. Serious Russian says the safety car makes me want to get his Ford Puma back then. I used to like a Ford Puma, to be fair. Then my cousin used to have one way back many moons ago. Goodness gracious me, almost 10 years ago. It's quite shocking, really, isn't it? Time is one of the most scariest things in life, isn't it? Because time absolutely flies by. Of course, it's season 7 of Hyperdrive. ALR/Hyperdrive, of course, which, goodness gracious me, started almost 3 years ago. Absolutely surprising stuff indeed. That the fresh pit guys won't be able to do much, to be honest, unless they full send it. Kez are saying then. So potentially we could have another Division 2 driver winning in 2 races in a row. Remember that Boxtel won his first Grand Prix of his Division 1 career last time out in Canada, didn't he? And I'm wondering if he's going to, and he potentially could have V Robbie getting his first ever Division 1 World Championship win here tonight then. Lights are still on for Burnt Mylander safety car. Hopefully they're going to go off soon, and then we'll be back racing. We'll wait for that magical message then for the safety car to come in, and we'll be back racing. But it's a very late call if it's coming in. It's staying out then. So it's in. So the safety car is. It's coming in the pits, and they have. Well, I haven't had anything, but yeah, the safety car is in the pits then, and we're going to go back racing. I didn't get a notification at all then. Here we go then, and let's go then, as we're now going to start. We're going to start this race once again. Then we're back racing. Then V Robbie is taking. What's happened? And what's happened here then is that box out danger. What's going on then? There's so much going on here, and goodness gracious me, Gurman's popped up in a full position there. It's a nightmare safety car restart. It's an absolute mess out there, and I think that now we've got Red Bull touring at the moment, and there's drivers going slow and fast here, left, right, and centre. V Robbie is taking the lead of the British Grand Prix. It's a mess here, and it's still a safety car, I think, according to the So some people, I think it's a safety car still, isn't it? Is it still a safety car? Or am I just talking absolute boulder dash then? It's all gone completely wrong here. Goodness gracious me, it's a viewer's pick at the moment. Also commentator's pick as well. Goodness gracious me there. I am not too sure what's going on here, to be honest. We've got Vintage leader now. Goodness gracious me. Are we racing or what? Well, according to that, it's a safety car here, but Boxtel's in the Boxtel's second at the moment. Safety car's in the end of this lap then. So I think the safety car, Gurman's left the session now. So Gurman has left the session, and goodness gracious me then. So Well, safety cars apparently in the end, but that looks like the V Robbie is leading the Grand Prix. This is absolutely horrific stuff indeed. That so apparently it's still a safety car here. However, I think that V Robbie is absolutely flying away. Then, so some drivers may have safety cars, other drivers may not. But V Robbie leads the Grand Prix, and he's on course for maybe his first Grand Prix win of his career in Division 1. This may come under shady circumstances here, though. We've got Danger Thompson in fourth position and Tygo in fifth. Superb 17. Blaze in sixth position. German is now in seventh. Are they allowed to overtake? Well, German, who's not in this session anymore, then, and that's such a shame now for German, isn't it? And that is a horrific. And look, oh no, this is horrific stuff for Sly Guy because he is being absolute. Oh, this is shocking, isn't it? Absolutely shocking there. As Troy is out of the session as well, by the looks of things, and this is a nightmare, isn't it? Now we've got full course yellows still going on at the moment, aren't we? And I'm wondering if this is going to be a mess there, and I think the German's going to have to get out his calculator, hasn't he? Of course, I disconnected, and I'm not sure what happened with the safety car. I don't know either, to be honest, and I'm going to be honest that the timing screens all over the show, isn't it? I have no idea what's going on here. Goodness gracious me. Anyway, let's talk about the poll, because I know about that. Viewers picked then is apparently 2. We've got Sligo, who's got 1 vote as well. Then, of course, Julian's got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags here. I'm not really sure how this one's going to be unboxed. Then Epic is out of the Grand Prix. Cardboy is... and what's happened there? Cardboy, who... No, it's not Epic out. It's Cardboy, who's I think just retired on the straight there, and that's hurt vintage, hasn't it? Lap 24 out of 26 here, and now we got a green flag race, and hopefully that's really ruined a fantastic Grand Prix, so I'm a little unhappy about that. I'm sure the driver's going to be much more unhappy than I am. Crazy Bills, and I got himself into 10th position as well. Epic is now in 9th position. Sly Guy is in 8th position. DRS has now been enabled as well, as we're coming up into lap 25 out of 26. So a mess of a start here. A mess of a safety car restart. Blaze is in the pits, and Cardboy's left the session. Blaze is in the pits as well. And I'm not even sure. Blaze, according to that, Blaze is ghosting as well here. Sly Guy is moved himself over into 7th position, and Epic is up into 8th position. Julian has got a 5-second penalty, which may be removed because apparently he was ignoring yellow flags, even though he wasn't, man. But yeah, there's a lot of comments out there at the moment from unfortunately about this game, and I do agree with you, because that's kind of ruined what was set up to be an absolute epic ending then, an absolutely epic end to what would have been a fantastic British Grand Prix. Sly Guy's now got himself up into 6th position then, so he's trying to get himself back up as high as possible here, but his efforts along with Julian Epic was kind of marred about that full safety car restart then. An absolute mess out there at the moment. Watching V Robbie though, who is really taking it upon his stride, and he elected not to come to the pits, and he is look at that, then he's flying out there, but he's almost out of hers here, the Red Bull driver is, so he may be a bit vulnerable down the straight, but he does have a 3-second gap. Down to 16 runners and riders, and however, I'm not sure Blaze is in this Grand Prix still. I don't think German is either, and I'm not sure Troy is either, and unfortunately that would be DNF's unfortunately on that record. And Sly Guy is now dropped back behind Julian, and who's back up in the 6th position. Julian is here. So now we've got Crazy Bill and Epic also fighting his way. We're on the final lap of the British Grand Prix. I have no idea what's going on then. Goodness gracious me. And now Crazy Bill is on the outside. Epic's on the outside. Crazy Bill's on the inside, and now come across the line. Good gracious me. And look at this then. And now Epic, who's going up the inside into turn 1 there. Oh gosh, that's going to get very... Oh my gosh. And we've got all kinds of wobbly cars around here. And we've got Julian and Sly Guy also fighting as well. As we've still got V Robbie leading the Grand Prix at the moment. And as the tower once again, and is just flicking himself and down. Danger Times in the pits as well. He's down into 15th position. Danger Times. I'm not sure if I believe that or not yet. We'll find out the final classification at the end then. As there will be no interviews in this Grand Prix, unfortunately. And so, unfortunately for V Robbie, who probably absolutely were vintage lead now, fantastic stuff with vintage there. And I don't think Blaze is down for the 2nd position at all. But this is an absolute mess here in Codemasters. So, thank you very much so far. What a shame then. What a shame. That is absolutely disappointing and stuff. Julian's off, and he's in the wall. He's gone off in a major way, Julian Hasser, and he just he had a bit of a tank slapper, and he's out of the he's not out of the race then. V Robbie, who Sully's up into 2nd position now. Sully's got past him in 2nd position. Here is V Robbie then, who's coming into the final couple of turns now then, and V Robbie, who had a really slow final lap. Oh goodness gracious me then, that's not PC, is it? Goodness gracious me, that's not PG either. But V Robbie wins the British Grand Prix. I think he wins the British Grand Prix. He's come across the line first, and however, the checker flag has not come out here. My goodness gracious me, then. One absolute mess here to the British Grand Prix. I think V. Robbie has won the Grand Prix with Sully in second position, with Boxtel in third, then with Danger Times fourth, Tygo in fifth position. Sixth position is Sly Guy, I think, was it Sloth in 7th and Undead James Nausea in 9th, and Fantastic and Epic in 10th position. I think that's the final classification from the British Grand Prix, but I have absolutely no idea, as it's a bit of a mess then to this British Grand Prix, and an absolute horrific end to the British Grand Prix, unfortunately, then. And that is a pretty disappointing end to what would be what would have been an absolutely epic British Grand Prix as well. A lot of you in the comments there are not too happy about what's occurred in that final stage of the British Grand Prix. So we're going to take away a pinch of salt. I've just kicked me laptop miles out, and I've also stubbed me tail. That's not good, is it? Let me sit down and sort myself out then. Oh my word. Right, I am not too sure about the final stage then. Humphreys, I'm sure that cannot count then. As Kaz has been a bit, is not too happy with the old Codemasters out there at the moment. I don't blame him. Two things. This was a host issue. Epic was saying there's no way we can let this stand as it is then as well. Epic is saying. No detainee will be removed and get back to it was a mess probably before the safety car came out then. So Nausea is saying then, so far from who's the head admin there is just going to have a look then. Goodness gracious me then. Well, I'm really sorry about that then for you guys who stayed up and really like kind of give away your evening tonight for that botched end. Really, that is such a shame indeed then. And that is disappointing. Vintage Division 1, poof, easy. Congratulations, Vintage, as well. As it stands at the moment, what I do know is V. Robbie, who elected to stay out, won at the Grand Prix here in a fantastic 17. I'm not sure if that's going to be the official confirmation or not, but I'm going to take it as face value for the minute then, is that V. Robbie has won the British Grand Prix for now in only his second start, and that was supreme stuff indeed for V. Robbie. Absolute hats off to him. Oh, goodness me, as he's now parked inside the mechanics there. Oh, my word, lovely action here. Yeah, that's a great view indeed. Then, as we got to see the backs of the Red Bull mechanics. Tiger also gets the driver of the day. I'm not sure who got driver of the day. I have no idea really. Goodness gracious me. Right, fantastic stuff for the Red Bull team. Absolutely supreme stuff indeed. Keep an eye out for the Twitter and all that kind of jazz, as we will give you the final classification from the British Grand Prix, of course. But this is the very, very unofficial classification of the British Grand Prix. Hats off to V. Robbie, who won that Grand Prix for 9th on the grids. Fantastic stuff indeed. Boxtel in second, the 2 Division 2 drivers doing a great job once again. Then Sully in third position. Supreme drive from Sully today. That's gone under the radar for me. Tygo in 4th position. Epic stuff. 5th position is Sly Guy. 6th was Sloth, who got fast up. Knowles in 7th. Epic in 8th position. Troy in 9th. Danger Times down in 10th position there, as the championship was really took another swerve. And Angel 11th. Crazy Bill 12th. German retired. Vintage 14th. Blaze 15th. Julian in 16th position there. Cartboy, Milan, Clarkey and Scotty all retired them from the British Grand Prix. And that's really ended my fantastic week on a bit of a damp squib, really, hasn't it? So that's disappointing. So it's a shame. But as it goes at the moment, congratulations to V. Robbie. He is the winner of the British Grand Prix, as far as I can tell. I'm just going to go with it for now, because at least it's better than nothing. A fantastic job indeed there for V. Roberts. Fantastic stuff indeed there for Boxtel and for Sully as well, who may get my personal driver of the day. Actually, he was supreme stuff indeed. Then that is the top 3. Unfortunately, we can't give you the official classification there, because I think the stewards have got a lot of work to do. Unfortunately, it's a Sunday as well, so I think they're going to be up past midnight, which is a bit of a shame indeed. Then, well, let's end on a positive, shall we? Because next week week, we are going to the Styrian Mountains, and for the Austrian Grand Prix, of course, it's a very tricky little track, and 10 corners then in the Austrian Mountains there in Austria for round 12 of the World Championship then. The championship is very much on a knife edge now, isn't it, with Danger Times potentially on a pretty disappointing race today, along with Blaze as well, and this is definitely very much opened the door up for Epic the Animal, and Sly Guy. However, Sly Guy would be third and Epic will be fourth at the unofficial standings at the moment now, and McLaren is still in the World Championship. But we'll be back in action tomorrow night for the Austrian Grand Prix, and Division 7 will return there, where it is very much up for grabs, isn't it, with the Division 7 title, and it's Ash Tube there leading the way by only 1 point now from Bad Payaso in second. Jinner in third position. We'll see you tomorrow night for Division 7. From here, though, it's goodbye.